Isn't she precious? I never thought true love would be.
Sing it, Clyde.
Got me sitting right here, waiting for you, my dear.
I listen to some old school
Sitting in the park.
Yeah, I like the original.
Waiting for you.
Back up, nigga. I love them niggas in the background. Them niggas
The background niggas was the ones who used to win.
Yeah, and them niggas, what's them the niggas with the little high pitched voice? Them niggas used to
The
kill.
falsetto motherfuckers.
Yeah, boy.
Reasons.
Yeah. The reasons that you here. That nigga come back in.
And we're back at the jack off hour.
Because I love you.
All right, so what I was gonna say was, knowing that you might find somebody like one of us that's been through some shit. That that like I was saying earlier, that they that's normal to them.
Would that be considered equally yoked?
If y'all both fucked up.
Oh yeah. That probably lead to why a lot of people in those relationships like that depend on
attracted to
somebody to make them happy. Or you should be responsible for my happiness type of shit too. Certain things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want to connect the dots, man.
You might have issues.
I think we all in some kind of way.
I think every last person has issues that was raised in the 70s, the 80s, and the early 90s has issues.
Yeah, we do.
We all got issues.
Shit.
Born in the late 90s.
Yeah, right. You wish you was born in the late 90s.
I saw her pull out her license the other day. She unfolded. How old are you?
He said she unfolded it.
It was like she
Shit was on a piece of paper.
You unfolded your shit. It was papers.
I mean, we grew up in a time where a lot of shit was okay when it wasn't. Disrespecting women was a thing. Bitch and this and that and bitch and that and freak Nick and all that other stuff.
Y'all feel like women got treated better back in the day or no?
Back in after slavery, yeah.
Well, I'm not talking about that far back in the day, Fredo.
Yeah.
After slavery, yeah. I mean, it was a brief. No, let's not go brief because I don't deal with brief. It was a panty moment where women were, I think, treated a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
It was a thing for guys to pick you up, bring you flowers on the first date. Oh, that was a thing back in the day. Now, that is not a thing. Now,
I still get flowers.
Courting,
and stuff.
yeah, of course we do. But courting is like you could court on social media now.
I think
I
some
just
people
think
haven't
that
let it
things
go.
are moving a little faster. There's a lack of morality. I think that women also contributed to changing the morals of what a woman deserves nowadays.
Yeah.
I think that like for a woman to come on a national radio station and say, after 5 years, my wholeness disappears. How many people are you relaying that message to that may think that that's okay? You understand what I'm saying? How many women may feel like being a whore is not such a bad thing? Oh, a man could do it, but I can't, and he's a gallus, but I'm a whore. So I think it changed the values. A lot of the things changed the values of what a woman was. Like I said, back in the days, what we called sexy wasn't really sexy nowadays. What we called sexy was when Holly Berry wore some jeans and a mop top.
Yo, that's so crazy.
What was sexy back in the days was Pam in some tights.
I was watching Boomerang today. Those girls was in Halle Berry, Robin Givens. Who else was another?
They weren't
black
naked.
girl?
Right.
No, they were dressing sexy in the
They were
movie, but they
sexy,
had
but not
natural bodies, and that was the thing back then. Now,
I
that's
love
not
natural
the
body
thing.
women.
Watch Boomerang,
But
y'all.
we, anyway,
Damn. You took it back on that.
no, you took it back.
Okay. I'm the bad then.
Nah, I'm just saying. Natural hair was a thing.
Still a thing.
They battle. Them women battle. I look on Instagram and
I just think that so many things are
artificial.
not just artificial, but
Microwave?
it's like everything could be changed and be all right. Change of your body, change of your hair, change of your physical appearance, period.
Skin complexion.
Change of your morals. All of these things is in doubt now. Even if you want to take it there religiously. Religious, you know what I'm saying? Everybody has an opinion. So I think that helped change, those things help change how we view society and life nowadays. So the question you asked was, were women treated better back in the days than now? What do you think? You said you think they were.
I think so.
I think, I don't know if it was treated much better, but I think it was more respected and valued.
Sorry.
I think women were more respected and valued
Yeah, back then.
back then. You also have to remember that we lack a very important component that we had back then that we don't have now, which is romance, R&B. It was okay to be in love. It was okay to treat a woman respectfully. It was okay to pour your feelings and your emotions out. We don't have that anymore. Now it's like, fuck these bitches ain't loyal, da-da-da-da-da. So we don't have that emotion anymore. That emotion is not even around.
And if your
And
friends
if,
know you in love,
and if
you'll
it's
die.
around, you gotta look for it. You gotta look for that. You gotta search that. You understand what I'm saying? You gotta search that emotion. Before it was out there, it was there. You had Jagged Edge, you had Casey and JoJo, you had Darnell Jones, you had Keith Sweat.
Public Enemy.
You had
Not
Public Enemy.
Public Enemy?
Public Announcement. Is it the little group under R. Kelly? Body bumping and all that shit.
Public Announcement.
Yeah, something like that.
Yes, Public Announcement. You had R. Kelly, you had Usher. You had all of these people that was singing about love. So it wasn't odd. It wasn't strange back then. Now it's like,
Oh, you love them?
Yeah, we was in the car
You the
listening to
cornball
music,
for
and what
them.
the guy on the radio was singing something about getting in the girl throat. And
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
the
yeah.
I heard
song.
yeah, we was driving.
He was
It was
like,
on the radio.
Radio?
It was on the radio. It was on the radio.
On the radio.
I'm in love with your. I'm in love with
Baby
your.
in your throat.
Yeah, I'm in love with your throat. If you was in, what he
Oh,
said?
wow.
He said something like, if you was in
He's the
jail,
dude.
I would bail you for that throat or something like that.
He was very disrespectful the
But-
whole song.
But this
And
is
they
what
put it on the radio.
this is what I'm saying. This is what
And they-
society has brought to us nowadays, and this is what we're bringing to ourselves, really, because it's black people making songs for black people, right? So this is what we are subject, and that's not only just in in mainstream America. That's in
It's called throat.
that's
baby.
what it's called.
Throat baby.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
throat baby, exactly.
What the hell?
But we also lack that in the Caribbean culture as well. Back in the days, I mean, when last you heard romantic. You had let me see, Brian and Anthony Gold. You had Sanchez. You had Wayne Wonder. You had who else? Barrington Levy. You had Barris Hammond.
Sanchez.
You had I said Sanchez. Who else you had?
Shabba Ranks.
Shabba Ranks was not singing romance.
He was singing romance song.
No.
With Johnny Gill, Slow and Sexy.
Yeah, well, you're American, okay.
All right, don't do that.
But I'm just saying. Now we don't have that. You know what I'm saying? We had Egyptian. You know what I'm saying? Jack Cure. We don't have that no more. It's more of a fuck out gal hole and good pussy gal need money and I have a penis for your vagina hole and I mean if you want to call that romance, down in your throat.
Stop out your meat.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying that.
Stupid, yo.
Lady Saw.
Yo.
It's so funny because last night we was laying in the bed and she was like, why don't you play some romantic music? And I played Lady Saw. Maybe you can grind good and you can fuck sweet. Stop what we need.
No, but he kept me going. I'm like,
and then she was like, I was like, all right, let me stop playing. And I played a cartel that go, take body girl. You take me easy. We are around food. You want to live easy? You take me things on. You take me money too. So take body too.
But we was joking, but just imagine some guys think that that's romantic for real. Like they would put that on
And
it to get in the mood. Like stab out your meat. No.
And it's some chicks that
If the man left on my pussy fat, the only fat pot pussy I make, they only rat.
Me pussy.
I think ladies were respected more back in the days. You couldn't look at a girl and be like, yo, bitch, what up? Back in the days.
Not only that,
You could
they-
do that nowadays
they-
and get away with it.
They were asking for more back then. They were
Required
asking
more.
Right. That's the word. They were requiring more back
It
then.
was more genuine back then.
Plus, you had artists like Queen Latifah that was
Female,
Preaching.
black male
Yeah,
movement.
we had Lauren Hill. We had
Lauryn
those.
Hill.
you had women that was preaching
Yeah.
about that, like
Yeah.
Erykah Badu was very big.
Erykah Badu.
You also had people that were actually, and it's not to say that people aren't looking to get married and stuff like that now, but it was like the goals in relationships have changed. Like before it was like, yeah, I want to have a wife, have a husband, have a family, and build something together. And granted, not to say that there weren't, single mothers, this, that, the other, but it was still an idea of we're gonna get married, we're gonna have this, we're gonna have a family.
I mean, you got to understand, with the way society is, we are living in questionable times. When a nigga could call his girl bro, there's a problem there.
Never.
And I hear a lot of dudes do that. Call they girl bro. Yo, bro, you wildin', bro. Like, bro, how do you even call your girl bro? Like she one of your homies.
These are like grown men.
Yes.
Adult men.
Yes, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
I would give that age range
You'd be surprised.
27 to about 35, 36. Calling a girl bro.
It's some 30 teens out there.
30 teens.
30 teens, 40 teens. And it's some 50-year-olds that don't want to hang it up and understand.
Oh
they're
yeah,
wrong.
definitely.
Same.
There's 50-year-olds out there still sagging their pants.
It's not like it used to be. Back then, you would see it night. We here
That's
right
the
now.
night,
You want to
yeah.
get to know me right now.
Let's
You wanna
talk.
be my
Let's
Instagram
have a
now
conversation.
for the rest of the night.
Good evening.
Well, I think the social media thing came in because
Made it easier.
it made it easier, and also they want to know what you was about. Now, me taking your number, I'm not gonna know if you busted open on the gram. I'm not gonna
Bust
know.
wide open.
I'm not gonna know if you put up half naked pictures. And if I do see that, then now I know what type of time you want. And sometimes not every woman that puts up a thong picture or whatever. I'm just putting that out there for the people, because people be like, oh, you can't judge somebody over what they put on social media. But Actually, you can. Because nine
I'm gonna
times
say that if you on Instagram with a thong,
9 times out of 10,
judge you.
if you out there just putting up random thong pics and shit like that, niggas gonna judge you a certain type of way. You understand what I'm saying?
$40.
No, but that's not what I meant though. I meant like instead of a guy back then, I felt like guys met a girl at a club or wherever, and that's the time that they took to get to know her. Now a guy's gonna walk up to you, get your information, and leave. You don't see him again for the rest of the night. What? Like what?
Yeah, because he feel like he got you already. On to the next.
Nevers.
I'm gonna bag 4 bitches in here. And
That's
one
the
of them,
game. That sucks. Girl, because he got to get as many as he can for the night.
It's a numbers game. I
Yes.
had a
How
cousin
many
of
numbers
mine.
but this is why I said that women
Well-
made it harder for women. And the reason why I said that is because if you got 3 women in this room right now, right? For example, this is a club. We are in a club, right? I try to bag you, you got a little standard. I try to bag you, you got a little standard. I come to you and you like, what's up? What we doing after this? We going to get breakfast? Now breakfast in a nasty mind, breakfast is like, fam, we going to IHOP. And then after,
comes with sausage.
facts. Eggs come with sausage. You dig what I'm saying? So you gonna get the glizzy after that. You feel me? So that's what I'm saying. Women lowered the standard for women, actually, because if men tried to lower the standard, because you gotta understand, men go wherever women are. Men do whatever women allow them to do. So at the end of the day, if a major hype comedy show is coming up and all the women wants to be there, dudes is gonna show up because they know all the women is gonna be there. If this dude has got his girl and his girl's like, oh, Major Hype is gonna be in town, I wanna go to his show, he's going. He might not even know who Major is, he might not even care for Major, he might drop the standards for women. That's how I feel. I don't know if y'all agree with me. I don't know. But I feel like women drop the standard for women because you got to understand, like we just spoke about. We spoke about Pam from Martin. We spoke about Tisha Campbell. We talked about Holly Berry. We talked about Jada Pinkett. Well, not no more, but...
Don't do it like that.
no, we got to do it like that.
Entanglement.
We got to do it like that. Back in the days when there was a standard, all of them was held to that same standard. Is what I'm saying. And let's just address the Jada thing real quick. Had that been a man that slept with his daughter's best friend, he would have been the worst nigga in the world.
We talk about that all the time. Men number one excuse
I don't care
when
if
they
that was
meet a girl is
separated.
things is not good
I don't
at
care.
home.
You slept with your son's
Not
best
good.
friend.
So is it the fact that it's the son's best friend? If it was a stranger she slept with, would it still been an issue?
If they separated and they decide to date each other, then that's cool. That's
Oh,
it
so
is
it's
what
just
it
the
is.
fact that it was
How do you
your son's
sleep with your son's best friend?
Don't
Okay.
fuck my mom, bro. What is going on here, bro?
Shit. Entanglements.
You used to get breakfast, now she all in this nigga room. You can't stay here no more, bro. Go out there and be sick in the real world.
If it was a man, he would have been the worst man ever. Sleeping with his daughter's
To
friend.
me, it's bad. It's bad either way. Like how
Nobody even
Okay,
mentioned that
cool,
though.
I don't know why. I don't think
You don't know why, because it's double standard, that's
I don't think
why.
a lot of people know that. I didn't know until you told me that, or somebody told me. I don't know
Or
who
that,
mentioned that. That's how she met him, through her son. That was her son's
Yeah.
friend, and he used to come to the house, and that's how they met. It's kind of sick. I don't care
It's
if he
creepy.
is of age. He's the same age as your son, and you met him through your son. Now all of a sudden,
It's
you
creepy.
banging your son's best friend.
Jada said she was looking for happiness.
And it was a long time since she had been happy.
But now you're Stifler's mom, and it's you all American
Stifler's
Pie
mom.
out over there, man.
It's just what it is, man. It's double standard. You know what I'm
No, I
saying?
think it's
about that. Everybody just was using the
Young
hashtag.
sausage, which the entanglement hashtag.
Yeah, everybody just made it a hashtag, and it was super funny, and nobody addressed the actual issue of her sleeping with her friend, her son's friend. Like, okay, y'all was separated, you decided to date or whatever, and have a long time of fun or whatever, but the fact still remains that you were sleeping with your son's friend
on my property.
Yeah.
And that might have been the reason why she used the word entanglement, because she couldn't come to terms with saying, yeah, I fucked my son's friend.
Will brung it out of her. JD, you might want to.
He ain't bring it out of her because she still went back to the word entanglement.
Yeah, she did.
And she was
holding
not,
on to it.
Yeah.
she was not saying
That was
any other word.
Story.
But
That's the story, and I'm sticking to it.
especially in the Caribbean, that's not uncommon. Like on some like really.
What's not uncommon?
You trying to get with your friend child.
Never.
Let me break it down, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. And if y'all don't want to agree or admit it, because this is a real thing. My to holler.
But guess what?
And it's not just one, two. It's a few of them mofos.
But you said that's very. You said that's very common.
It is.
It's not.
It is.
No, it's not.
It is. These West Indian men.
No, it's not.
Sure are feeling out, right?
No.
Yeah, you growing up real nice.
You sure are
Get
feeling
out
out,
of here.
right?
That's
No.
a big. It might
No.
not be for you because you're a
Yeah.
male. But as a
Caribbean,
female, that's a big thing.
big
Men
ball
are
is that?
perverts.
You been hit on? You been hit on by
Men
your
are
parents' friends?
perverts.
You been hit on by your parents' friends? For real?
That's as soon as you hit of age. If they even let you become of age before they start hitting on you.
I might not have just because.
Come and visit me, and he be like, "Who was that?"
Everybody's
I'm like,
saying
"Daddy,
it's
that's
common.
my friend." Like,
I mean,
Everybody's saying it's
I
common.
mean,
Maybe it's because my mother was brolic and was about that life. And
People-
Bro, like,
people-
my mother was
people
a
is-
cop. They didn't care.
people are saying it's common. People,
It
I
is.
watched my mom
It might be a girl
beat a
thing.
grown man down, so maybe that's why. I don't know.
a lot of people are saying it's common. I've
Very.
never.
It's not
I mean,
just
I've heard like niggas say slick shit, but to actually move towards it, like trying to bag you,
like you
I've never
grow
saw that.
up. You see me grow up.
And I've shit. Niggas say slick shit. Oh, shit, I grew up nice. I can attest to that.
Okay.
But actually pursuing the girl, I've never seen
They're
it.
not gonna pursue it in front of you.
I'm just saying
They
I've
not
never
gonna
heard of
pursue
it.
in front of you. Okay, what you think she grew up nice mean?
That means
That means they will be.
yeah, but I'm talking about pursuing it, like exchanging number or trying to holler like, yo, what's your number?
Mr. Earl, you're nasty.
Like somebody saying yes, okay, you grew up nice and then thing that's one thing. But for a nigga to come to you, your father's friend to come to you and say, yo, give me your number then. Let me take you out on a date.
That's a very
In the
common thing. How
comments-
you think that make a little girl feel to see her father's friend or her mother's friend, an older guy that you grew up seeing, calling him uncle or whatever the case is, looking you up and down like he grew up
this
nice.
shit
Like,
is
sir,
nasty.
why are you looking at my
So-
crotch?
A lot of people in the comments say
so a
they be
nigga-
the relatives.
So a nigga pursued you, like asked you for your number and all that?
Ask me for my number.
Yeah.
They already had it. They already had it. Family, friends, or whatever the case is, they know how to get in contact with me. They're not dumb.
So they called you before?
What I just told you.
Okay.
I guess they won't be at the wedding.
Soon as you hit 18, they like,
Somebody said they won't pursue, they take. That's a different topic.
That's definitely a different topic. It is. If somebody says discussing it, it's discussing like on a date. I
Probably
don't
them did
understand.
hear say you're hot.
Pornhub and stop it yet.
Probably them did hear say you're hot.
See that? See that?
Chester
sport.
molester.
That
Call it
daddy
what you will.
daddy.
When your pops is calling them talking about, yeah, you know, says she pregnant. You little nasty girl gonna breed. Niggas like, what?
Some of my father friends too. See me, I'll come back.
She
to visit.
taking wood already?
You
Okay.
grew up fabulous. You are well. Get away from me, sir.
It's looking $40. Go get your nails done.
Yep, your cousin's parents or friends as soon as you turn 16.
Well, guess what? When your parents start calling those niggas and start telling them your business, that might be a problem there. Yeah, catch she in the house here fucking. She fucking have 2 boys in the house here. I know what's going on. One prick in the mouth and the next one, I don't know where he hiding in the closet.
Alan married his daughter.
What do you have?
His daughter.
Married his daughter.
He married his adopted daughter. He adopted her, raised her from a baby, and then when she got...
That's what you call nursing in Jamaica. You nurse them.
If I came to your house as a child and played with your kids, and now that I'm an adult, you trying to holler you're a dirty old man. You are
He's
disgusting,
nasty.
sir.
Shit needs to be cut off.
You're disgusting, and I should tell your wife and your children.
That's what you call nursing. That's what you call grooming.
Yeah.
You groom her. You understand? She's 15 and 4 years she can't get it. You understand? Me carry her to school, make sure she have food money. You understand? She want a juicy patty, me make sure she have some money. She want a bun and cheese, me make sure she have some money. She want a jumbo gym. You understand?
That's why I couldn't go nowhere.
What you like? You like sock? Eh? That you like? You like? What you like? You like bag juice? Come on me yard, come feed. Come feed. You have it for you.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Disgusting.
Yeah, but some of these chicks is hot too. Let's not give the whole blame to one person.
Yes.
Yeah, but hot don't mean it's
Hot
okay.
don't mean what?
It don't mean it's okay. It
you
because
mean?
she's hot, like fat. You mean like fast?
Yes.
Yeah, that don't mean it's okay to do it.
What you
though.
mean?
So if my father's friend
Mhm.
sees that I'm a hot child or
Mhm.
grew up to be a hot individual, busted open everywhere, that does not give him the right.
Why not?
It doesn't-
What are you talking about? You are hot as you busting it open all over the place. This nigga might not respect your pops, but it doesn't make it wrong.
Okay, so Jada wasn't wrong. August was slinging dick. He was a little hot little thing, and she acted on it. What's the difference?
So that's lit.
No, I didn't say it was lit. I said what's the difference?
What you mean? What's the difference?
The 2 scenarios I just gave you. Acts on it. You said. I said that's not okay.
Right.
You said why not? She's
Mhm.
of age.
Right.
So in the same scenario with Jada, what
It's
is the difference?
disrespectful.
He's of age.
Like I said, I didn't say it was wrong. I said it's disrespectful. And I said it's double standard. Had that been a man, they would have been on his body about it. That's what I said. They was not on Jada body about it. It's disrespectful to you to your child.
I agree. That was selfish.
I mean, just because a nigga was cool with your pops and watched you swing you around the house a couple times, he obligated to you off limits when you become 23?
I mean,
I think
that's
you should be off limits
that's
all
a
the
little
time.
much.
You should be off limits all the time?
All the time. There's way too many women out here.
That's
You've been watching for
If
a
you
minute.
looking at me when I'm 24, what was you
You on
thinking when I was
some,
12? Like,
you been
damn,
on
I
some
can't wait till
perv.
she grow up. Like, what were you thinking then? It just don't sit right with me. It just
Being
don't
a
sit
perv.
well with
I mean,
me.
you would have to go into the mind of a perv to have to find that out.
Damn.
Like, what? You was looking at me when I was 12, or when I hit 24, you was like, damn. I mean, what was it, sir?
That's what I'm
I
saying.
was
That would
looking with some
that
wild
would
niggas, boy.
that would be the question that you would have to ask the perv. Was you watching that all this time, or did you see her out of the blue one family situation and she was like, Jano?
I don't know. I just feel like it is a double standard though, because I feel like if it was a dude who got with his daughter's friend that was of age, it wouldn't be such a big deal. It wouldn't be like, oh my God, you slept with your daughter's friend. But
You don't
because
think so?
it's a female that did it, it's a big deal. Yeah.
You my
But it's
friend.
not a big deal.
Don't touch my daughter.
That's what I'm saying. There is no big deal. Who made a big deal about Jada sleeping with him? Nobody. Who brought that up? Have you heard that in any discussions? All right then. So how is it a double standard?
It was a good entanglement.
I mean, it's trending, but no one made like a big deal out of it. Everybody's talking about it, but it's not like a big
Because
deal.
August
I don't
Alsina
remember.
was
Did they
sick.
do it when Diddy was talking to son old girl?
Who? Carrie Wilson?
No,
I mean, not
it was
Cassie.
no, it was another. His sons was dating a chick and then they.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Oh, yeah, the same Lori Harvey.
Okay, I couldn't remember
Steve
who it was.
Harvey
I
Dog?
just
The pass around.
yeah.
Oh, damn. She come down to?
Yeah, she is. Well,
Yeah. All right. So did they make a big deal out of that?
I don't remember. That's why
Was
I
that
was I saw it on, of course, social media.
I never
It was
even
trending for a few
heard
days.
of Diddy dealing with.
Justin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she was.
She was dealing with the son first, and then next thing you know, she
Oh, well, that's
dealing with
that's
the
that's
dad.
not even.
That's a smash and pass.
That's not comparable to that situation.
It wasn't Smash and Pass.
What?
They were dating.
Diddy got too many cameras in his house. He been watching his son hit that for a long time.
Ew. That's so nasty.
Yeah.
Okay, they said only bloggers were talking about it.
Okay, which bloggers was talking about Jada talking to her, well, fucking her friend, her son's friend.
I heard it here and there, but nobody made a big deal out of it, though.
No, I didn't even come up like that. That's a great topic.
Yeah, so you know.
Pumping and pumping.
That nigga said he needed to cleanse his soul after that.
Pumping and
Diddy,
pumping.
somebody said Diddy is a predator too.
Diddy is a rich predator. Get it right.
I mean,
That nigga wealthy as fuck.
wealthy don't mean shit.
I ain't say he wasn't sick.
That don't mean you don't play with in the same rules.
Wealthy means you could pay people to keep their mouth shut. Let's just be honest.
Elvis Presley.
Well, not for too long.
Elvis was a big
Because
one.
Remember you was
with
watching
Jeffrey
the
Epstein,
shit?
4 years, 5 years.
As long as-
I ain't paying you shit. I'm down with my money.
All right, well, let's go to some phone calls and see
Come
what.
on, call. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight. I'm gonna shut down my phone.
Yeah, Beji.
Yeah, brother.
Yo, me just see your caption there. Should your partner responsible for your happiness?
Yeah.
Being responsible, like you can't be responsible for somebody's happiness. Yeah, you can make both people. You can make somebody happy, but you can't really be responsible for that person's happiness because one side did break and a break. Yeah, baby. You can go to the end of the world for some.
All right. We got a Wi-Fi problem or Wi-Fi issue there. But let's go to somebody else. Let's see what it is. We're not sticking too long on callers tonight. We usually do. What's going on, brother? Talk to us. What you got to say about this topic and the issues that we covered tonight?
Well, this topic, I mean, you know, everybody has to, let me go on here real quick. Everybody has to, for one, people have to, you know, they have to find within themselves, you know, a person can only contribute to your happiness, you know what I mean? So, before we can say, you know, before we can want people to make us happy, you know what I mean? They can't make us happy. You know, if you have a partner that you're in a relationship with, they can only contribute to your happiness. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But at the end of the day, we have to find happiness within ourselves, and people don't understand that a form of happiness is something that's not always going to be. It's not always going to be a constant thing. It's going to change all the time. You know, you're going to be happy 1 second, and then you might not be happy the next. So it is what it is. You know what I mean?
So in that instance, who do you turn to for happiness?
Well, you already know my take on that. A lot of people don't believe that. You know, so, but that's something that has to be within you. It has to be inside of you already. I know so many people who depend on another person, and if you're depending on people for your happiness, you're going to be let down every time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. At the end of the day, for me, I believe in the Most High, so that's where the source of my strength and my happiness comes from. And then my lady, you know, she contributes to that because she believes in that as well. So when you work in tandem, when you work together, you know, again, happiness is just something that it comes and goes, but love is going to always be there to, you know, to really conquer that. So that's what it is, man. And with love, the happiness will be there, but it's not going to be every single day, every single time, you know. So, and a lot of people don't understand that. They just don't. They just look for, oh, he makes me so happy, or she makes me so happy. But you know, a person is going to be unhappy. So it's just part of the human condition. It's just what we, you know, what's already in us, you know. So like I said, most of the time I'm happy, and sometimes I'm not. But my happiness comes from the Most High. So it is what it is. That's my take on that.
Okay. Kirby has a question for you.
What's up?
Do you feel like your partner can drain you of your happiness? Like I agree with what you said. It comes from within. I agree with everything you said. Do you feel like your partner, although they're not responsible for your happiness, do you feel like they can take your happiness away? They could be the reason that you are unhappy.
They play a big factor in how you go about certain things and how you go about your day or your daily goings or whatever. They can bring you to a level where you feel uncomfortable and feel some sort of unhappiness at that moment. But it shouldn't be something that resonates through you permanently. So, you know, to answer that question, they can play a factor in that. They can play a factor in you being unhappy. But again, you know, being unhappy or being happy is definitely a choice that you have to make. So, you know, and speaking from a human being and a realistic, you know, unhappiness or contribute to your happiness. So I would say yes, for sure. For sure.
I agree
you know,
with what you said. I think that so I do believe that somebody could drain you of your happiness.
Oh yeah.
If you allow them to. That's where you have to protect your happiness. You have to protect your peace. Basically, if you're in a happy place and that person is not in a happy place, I mean, and we're not talking about literally, right? Because you being happy with yourself doesn't mean that you're not gonna have unhappy times. There might be a time where you have a disagreement and you might not be happy about that disagreement, but does does it hinder your complete happiness in yourself? You know what I'm saying? And that is what you have to protect. You have to protect your complete happiness within yourself. Are you subjecting yourself to something that you don't want in your life? Are you subjecting yourself to a level where you feel like you're less than? That's what the happiness is. Not we can't agree on what we're eating tonight. That's, to me, that's not the happiness. That's just a disagreement of two different perspectives and views. And I think that the bigger picture is your whole being of happiness. You know what I'm saying?
Your whole being. And energy is definitely a big part. Like, and whether it's your significant or whether it's your partner. We were friends for like 15, 16 years. And as soon as I did that, more positive things started happening because I had to cut ties with that negativity, and that hatred that was coming, that was transpiring from him. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Again, misery enjoys company, and for the most part, if you're with your partner and they are not contributing to your happiness and not worried about your well-being, that's a problem. You have to cut that person off expeditiously. I'm just saying.
I agree with you, brother. And I thank you for your call and your opinion and your aspect of what we're talking about tonight. Thank you. I appreciate you, brother.
All right, bro. I'll talk to you, man.
Definitely.
It goes back to reevaluating everyone and everything in your life. Is this away from me? What is your role? Like, because iron should sharpen iron. Not only in my relationship, but in my friendships, we should make each other better.
Right.
And in that aspect, I say that contributes, adds on to your happiness, but it's not determining, the basis for it. But we should be helping each other grow. Like, are we fertilizing each other? Are we pouring into each other? Or is this a situation of take? Like, how do we feed each other so that we can be better?
Mm-hmm.
It's give and take.
I'm not taking any dark calls tonight. I'm sorry. We're not taking.
Was gonna turn on the light.
Yeah, well, turn it on before you.
Turn on the light.
We're not taking dark calls tonight.
We want to see you. You see us. We want to see you. Just give me the light.
Yo,
Blessings, VI. What going on?
I good, I like the topic, but first off, I have to actually say before I answer, if your mother never grow your good bedroom, you're gonna have woman problem.
It has a lot to do with who you end up with.
Yes, it does. And as far as if you feel your partner, no, I don't feel my partner should be responsible because it takes two to anything.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It takes two. And most of we in this world, it has sayings, oh, it's 50-50. It can't be no 50-50 because sometimes I'm, as the king, might be doing 100% and she feel like she's zero or vice versa. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So it is a push and pull, man. You have to be there. You have to understand that person, and it has to be friends first. If you want to say that's your wife, queen, regardless if you do a ring thing, you get married for real or whatever, it has to be honor royalty, loyalty, trust, respect, and friendship in that relationship. Or it not gonna work. Everything I go mash up. Because the man gonna look for other things where he ain't finding in you. You are gonna look for other things where she ain't finding in you. And rate it. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, it's very seldom that you find the 50-50 thing. And the reason why I say that is because what we stipulate 50-50 to be may not be someone else's 50-50.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you can give your 50 within other ways, right? Just because I'm paying bills don't mean she should pay bills, and that's 50-50. In a relationship, I think we need to be each other's crutches. Where you lack, I'm gonna pick up where I will lack.
Yes.
And we both gotta work towards the same goals and have goals within the relationship.
Exactly.
That's how I view it.
Exactly. I feel so too bad because it's too much back and forth with because in any relationship I've been, most of all overall, I end up being called the devil because I don't show no emotion and it's always a yes. Because in that relationship it's everything always calm, like the rest calm, the rest this and that, the rest is everything because my mother teach me good, give thanks to my parents them, but the culture also teach me. You feel me?
But let me say this to you, right?
Yes.
Because you just
yes,
you're good to you may be weird to somebody else.
Yeah.
Yes,
I experienced that. I experienced that with a couple of people I've met in my life. I've experienced that.
Right. So let's get to the normal. What is the normal? What is the good? What is the good thing? Because a lot of people say, yo, my mother used to beat me and look how I turned out. I'm good. And some people may say, my mother used to beat me and now I feel like I'm less than a person. I feel like I've been abused. So you you have to come to a mutual agreement of what the norm should be.
Well, that's why I go back, Major. I go back to the self-love thing because as we grow, we grow apart from our parents and we understand life as a different perspective. Because last I see VI was 03. I live in America longer than I live in my island. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So growing up New York, growing up going to Florida and on to these places, I experienced culture and experienced things that people go through, and it helped me to understand myself as a person. Right. What I like, what I don't like, what makes me angry, what makes me happy, or what I want in a person. So if we search for these things, we might not get where you want because nobody's perfect. Right. Nobody's perfect.
Right.
You feel me? So it's always a sacrifice to that I tell people or tell any man I talk to that he going through any problem when any woman say, hey, bedroom, all them kind of thing, you have to sacrifice, You have to make sure because you see where we coming from as a man in our bringing, regardless of inners and outs. The sacrifice thing with we were like, nah, just like how I was talking about earlier, as a man growing up with an ex-man and see daughter, I would chop the man up because I feel different. Because watch.
Well, that's going
my bedroom.
That's going
I can't see my bedroom little daughter and I say, what?
Yeah, but that's
she
going
back.
That's
and then I try for fuck it off.
That's going back to being equally yoked. Right?
Yeah, but just post them. Yo, listen to me, Listen to me.
I am.
I understand. Because I've been around. I understand. But it just can't sit right.
If a boy grew up in a household where his father is teaching him that a certain type of lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
And a girl is growing up in a household where her father is teaching her that same lifestyle is okay. They might be great together. You understand what I'm saying? Is that when you have two different upbringings coming together. So what you think is cool may not be cool to me. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
what I'm saying. It goes back to being equally yoked. And I could be happy within myself. She could be happy within herself. But is our happy place the same, or is it similar?
Well, you see, and that thing too, I'm an open person because even that I'm saying I've traveled and it's opened my mind to experience, especially if you go back to His Majesty. He taught you because enough people, I mean, I obtained something the other day. Enough people just follow people's image and they follow people's teachings, especially to you, Major.
Mm-hmm.
Enough time you see you come on here and you're talking about some serious thing and you got 150, 200 followers. But when it's some type of gimmick, it's 8,000 followers. All them things just get me vexed.
Of course. Well, people, I've learned that people see you in a certain light and feel like you should never talk about nothing but the light that they see you in. If you're a comedian, they feel like if you're not telling jokes or being an asshole, they don't want to hear what you got to say. Granted, what you may have to say may be very relevant. It might be very useful.
Yeah,
it might be very helpful. But at the end of the day, what they see you as is, right? I'm not going to just say use comedians, but a lot of entertainers.
Yeah.
We have a past. For example, I was a DJ. I'm a musician. I was a singer. I was a producer. I've done a lot before I became noticeable to everybody else. Sorry.
Yeah.
Before I became noticeable to everybody else, right?
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, the people who acknowledge me for who I am as Major Hype, as the comedian, they don't want to hear me talk about music. They don't want to hear me talk about being a producer. They don't want to hear me talking about being an electrician, a certified electrician. I could be on here telling people how to break down 50,000 volts of current. They don't want to hear that because they didn't experience that lifestyle with me. They know me for who I became and who was noticeable to them, right? So at the end of the day, that's why I don't, but this is the reason why I don't stop doing what I do as an individual, right? I don't stop talking about serious topics. I don't stop talking about relationships. I don't stop talking about these things because what they perceive me to be is not what I'm gonna be. I'm not gonna be in a box.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. You're not gonna put me in a box where I feel
No,
like the only thing
we're not gonna stop that power.
You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, who wants to know about it and who wants to share my views and who wants to have different opinions? And also, it's not just about listening to me, but it's also about giving a voice to the culture. It's also giving a voice to the people. You understand what I'm saying? Like the five of us could sit here every Tuesday, talk, give our opinion, and say good night. We don't do that. We allow people to talk as well. So it's not just for me or my opinion, because I'm learning from everybody else as well. I'm learning from the people that's on the panel. I'm learning from the callers, and I take sense out of nonsense. So
old and the young and the old teach us.
Exactly. So
and be open to education. Exactly.
So
I mean, brother, that's why I respect you, and I following you from far beyond. You know what I mean? Like, there's no words. I mean, I just got to say continue, and I love everybody on the platform, and I really respect you, me.
Thank you. I appreciate it, brother.
There's not much. It's counted on fingers that people that's doing what you doing, or in any aspect, hip hop, rap, whatever you want, comedy, whatever you want. One love.
Yeah. Next caller. Thank you for your call, my brother. Blessings and peace to you. I see you, Munchie. I'm coming to you next, Munchie. Oh, it's you.
And patience.
Wagwan freaky pussy. She got the kitty. She got the pussy in her hand.
Anyway.
What's up? Talk to me.
So, I mean, I have a trouble with the word responsibility. That's the word that's irritating, because to give someone ownership of you, of your happiness, is is detrimental and to begin with. And I think it's important to distinguish between peace and happiness. I think that we all are responsible for protecting our peace. Happiness is so fluid. Like I can be here with my cat and sad, and then I join your live and now I'm happy.
Right.
Or, you know, I got an email with my check came in. So happiness can be very.
Well. Let me just say this.
Mhm.
You're talking about momentary happiness. You're on the live right now, which makes you momentarily happy. You getting a email about a check is momentarily happy. We're talking about your general overall happiness, your peace of being. You are happy with who you are as an individual, and not what you're accomplishing, or not what your feeling is for that particular day.
Right.
We're talking about your general happiness. The person that exists within you right now. That's what we're talking about. So when we say, is your partner responsible for your happiness, we're talking about not just momentarily, but who you are. Do they uplift you and make you happy as an individual, or do you feel you should come into the relationship already happy?
Okay, so I think that you want to come into the relationship whole as possible. You're always going to have those voids, right? Those pieces of you that are not fully complete. And I think that's where the partner's responsibility comes into play.
Where?
Is to fit the pieces of you that are somewhat missing or empty, if you will. So I think that there is a certain responsibility for the other life, and for that they have a responsibility to add to your happiness. You know what I mean? So, but the same.
Explain it. I mean, I'm here with you. I'm listening to you, but explain it to the viewers as well. What you mean by that?
What I mean is that with the word responsibility, they do have a responsibility to enhance my happiness.
In what way, like?
And just bringing joy and teaching me things, learning new things, helping to expand your mind, like what Miss B said earlier. Like how are we benefiting each other in a more positive direction? But just with a positive flow, there's always a negative. You can't have one without the other. So that person can also be responsible in a lot of ways for your unhappiness as well. So to me, the answer would be yes. Are they responsible for your total happiness? No. But are they responsible for a good portion of it? Yes.
When you say good portion, what would be the percentage that you're talking about? If you say,
I would say that comes to my mind is 70-30 split, right?
So they're responsible to 30% or 70%.
30. So I would say I'm responsible for 70%, and then they would add the 30 to me.
Okay.
Some would say you got to come in 100%, but I don't think anything when it comes to the human complexity is ever 100%.
Okay, so you believe that your responsibility as well. If you was to get into a relationship, you believe that you're responsible for 30% of that person.
Responsible for their happiness, and they should be responsible for a portion of my happiness.
Okay.
If you're not gonna make me happy, then why would I be with you anyway? So you do have a responsibility to add to my happiness.
Okay.
No.
Huh?
no. I mean, that's just how I feel. Like people like, oh, you're responsible for your happiness, self-love, self-peace, whatever, then stay by yourself. the whole point of involving yourself with somebody else is for them to add, to elevate, to bring life into yours. Mix it up.
I don't know, man. I kind of believe that.
You're laughing.
No, they're laughing because of something else.
No, not you.
No, they're laughing because of something else in here.
No, you're being stupid.
No, that's just how I see it.
That's cool. That's cool. I mean, we respect everybody's opinion, no matter what it is.
You gotta bring something to each other, so therefore you have a responsibility to add happiness to their life.
At least you're honest, because everyone's saying no, you, because a lot of people know they depending on their man to make them happy. So at least you're honest. I respect it. I respect that.
Some people in codependent.
Yeah, a lot of people won't be honest and be like.
But that's what I was saying earlier. Realistically, like we're saying this that two people should be happy with themselves before they engage in a relationship. But realistically, that is not the case. Realistically, correct. A lot of us get into relationships with people who may need work, who may need adjusting, who may need, and it might be adjusting to what you're into, because they might find somebody else that is okay with the get into a relationship with somebody. Let's keep it real. We all been in relationships with somebody that lacked happiness, peace within themselves in some shape or form. And that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, me personally feel like if you are in that situation, you need to work on yourself while you're in that situation. I feel like that person should encourage you, but you should work on yourself.
But everybody says that, but because I know for me personally, I can be honest and say that I'm not ever fully happy by myself or with myself. And that's something that I know personally affects me. Like, you can kind of tell I'm just being my cat. This is it.
That for you, but
I mean, okay.
No, I'm just joking. But what I'm saying is, all right. So
okay.
What?
I wanted to ask. I'm sorry. What I wanted to ask, because I would love to get your perspective, Kirby. Everybody, people always say work on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
How does that look? What does that even look like? What is the practical steps? If somebody said to you, make a cake. Okay, what are the steps? How do you actually truly work on yourself? Like, what does that even look like?
Can I answer that?
Yeah.
You start changing up the things that you're doing in life. When you're working on yourself, that's like taking time out to read or reading relationship books or something. Working on your health, so you can be in a positive state of mind. Start being social. Like, you have to change up your normal habits. That's working on yourself to better yourself, so you could be a socialite. So you won't be always talking to your pussy.
I feel like working on yourself is me personally. The definition of working on yourself is working on what makes you a better person. Now, I feel every human being was born with the natural instinct to know what is right and wrong. You know what's bad, you know what's good. And I feel like if you may have some habits, you may have some things that hindered past relationships that you may need to change. You know what I'm saying? You may have things that hindered your social life, your career, a lot of things that hindered that. You need to fix that. Clearly, it's not working for you. Like, so at some point in time, you got to understand when you're the common denominator of the issue or the problem. And those are things that you would have to change.
I think it starts with
I literally was in cried myself to sleep last night, and this is so perfect because it's exactly the same thing. Because you know, I did the therapy, I learned to cook, I do all these different things, but I just don't feel happy unless.
First and foremost, you got to identify what will make you happy. Where is your happy place? What makes you feel confident and good about yourself? What is it that you're lacking? Why you feel that way? Why you feel like you're not happy? That's the first thing you got to do. You got to identify that. The next thing you got to identify. The next thing you got to problems. You understand what I'm saying? Like I said, I've said it many times on this live that a lot of times we got to address the inner child that grew up. Just because you grew up doesn't mean that you address those issues as a child. Just because you grew up didn't mean that you fix these problems. It means that.
Oh my! You want to make me cry?
I'm just saying, it just made you. It just made you an adult with the same issues that hasn't. You understand? So these are things that we have to be conscious about and also be real about, because really and truly you're not hindering nobody else but yourself. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you gotta fix you as a person. What have you been through in life that may have affected you? What have you dealt with that you never spoke on, that you just been strong about? What did you witness in life that didn't sit with you right for so many years? These are the things that we need to deal with. You understand what I'm saying? And part of what you're doing right now, part of you letting it out, part of you letting that out.
I'm so embarrassed. Like,
no, there's no reason to be embarrassed.
You shouldn't be, because it's somebody else on this live that's seeing this, that needs to see this, that isn't able to be as honest as you're being honest. And guess what? You're helping somebody else while you're helping yourself.
Exactly.
And if you didn't trust and believe, if you're going through it, somebody else is going through it or has already been through it and could possibly, you never know, inbox you and say, hey sis, I went through it too, and this is what I did to get through it. So everything happens for a reason.
Exactly.
It's not by habit.
Of you bettering yourself, because at the end of the day, you're crying, right?
Yeah.
But we don't know why you're crying. You know why you're crying.
Mm-mm.
You know there is something in you that you didn't address right, or that you never spoke about, or that you didn't let out, or you didn't get off your chest. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us as Caribbean kids, we don't have a voice. We don't get to speak our mind or speak how we feel or what bothers us. We don't have that. So we as becoming adults, we never get to address that shit. You know what I'm saying? And this is stage one for you. You know what I'm saying? And crying is a part of cleansing.
Yeah, but and that's another thing. Like, we're not taught to express ourselves. Like, crying is like weakness, and you want to.
No, it's not. That's what we were taught, and this is what I was talking about earlier. A lot of things that we grew, because that was not right. I don't care how you look at it. Like for example, people saying, "Yo, you a man up. Don't you crying like you a bitch." No, we have to release those emotions.
Right.
We have to. Whether you're a man or you're a woman, you have to release those emotions. Nobody's made out of cement. Nobody's a machine. Or we all have emotions. We all have that place where we need compassion. We all have that. So at the end of the day, it has to be released, because then you end up with what the stigmatism of saying, "Oh, she's just another angry black woman." No, she never got a chance to let it out. You understand what I'm saying? She never got a chance to let it out.
Never got a chance to heal.
Yeah, let it out and heal it. It's a big process.
I think you still don't know how dope you are. Listening to you saying that you're not 100% happy being alone and you have your cats and stuff like that. You have to find out what you like and what makes you happy and do that by yourself and have a good time by yourself. If you don't enjoy your own company, no one else is going to be able to enjoy your company. You have to fall in love with you. Really figure out what you like to do and try to do it by yourself and enjoy it and don't feel awkward. It took me a long time to enjoy my own company. When I finally realized I'm lit, I'm fun, I'm good. I was all over the place by myself, and I'm not talking about clubs, just like running errands, going to Marshalls, doing things. I didn't need anybody to do the things that made me happy. You have to find what makes you happy. Do the things that makes you happy. Realize that you're dope. You hanging around people, don't you think they enjoy your company? So you should enjoy your company. You should be the first person enjoying your company.
I'm sitting down and I look around and I see people, engaging and laughing, whatever, especially in a romantic level. That's when I lose it. Like, in fact, Kirby, I told myself this weekend I was going to take myself down to Key West because I have a 3-day weekend every weekend because I work for the government.
Where do you live?
Miami.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I'm dealing with this COVID stuff. So I'm enforcement. So I have to tell people to put masks on. So I be stressed out with work. So then I come home and then I just, it's just me and patience. I mean, I don't make it sound depressing, but.
No, it's not about sounding depressing. This is why we do this.
My mom is dead. My father is God knows where. I don't have any family here.
COVID makes it a little hard, but one of the things that I've done, and every year I have an annual vision board party, and you don't have to wait for that. You can start it now. COVID makes it hard to travel and do certain things, but that doesn't mean that you can't use Pinterest or that you can't cut things out and say, this is my bucket list. These are the things that when the world does open up, these are the things that I would like to do. With some things is I work out, I run, I do different things, and that's my time to analyze things, talk to God. That's my where I find peace is working out and running, and I go to different trails and different parks and different things, not just to the gym, and just really, like Major said, start analyzing. Get a journal, start writing things down, and have not just an honest conversation with us, but have an honest conversation with yourself in regards to what you want. Have an honest conversation with when a person is around, what void is it that they're feeling that you're seeking?
That's what I was just about to ask you. I was just about to ask you.
Thought about it that way before.
I was about to ask you, is it that someone's filling a void for the time being, or is it that you're actually lonely, or is it something that you haven't addressed within your past?
The peak of it all.
But the loneliness may be a feeling of a void because of something else.
I just want to be loved.
But being lonely is being alone is not always a bad thing. You find yourself, you grow in that time. You take that time for yourself.
What I meant by that is like, all right, let's say I'm not in a relationship, right? When my friends come around, I feel good because I have somebody around. But that they just filling that void for that moment. And that's why I started off with saying to her, momentary happiness. Your happiness should lie within you, right? So therefore, getting out, being sociable, dating yourself, like you said, those things is gonna make you appreciate yourself, and it's gonna make you know what you're looking for. So nobody ain't gonna just come into your life and just fill that void for that time and just what you want for you. Then you start knowing what you're looking for. Is what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying? So you may have company tonight where somebody come and make you feel awesome and make you come 17 times, but then when they leave, you back to the same shit. You understand? I don't like cats. I'm sorry,
But she's different.
cats is too sneaky and they scratch.
I'm allergic.
Oh.
What the last thing I'm gonna say to you, because I don't want to hold you up, but I'm glad that we had this conversation, and I'm glad that you got to release some tension and stuff like that. The last thing I'm gonna say is that me and my family is gonna be in Florida this weekend. So if you want to link up so we can talk to you, we'll do that.
Oh
So we can talk. So we can talk further. All right.
I would totally love that, but social distances,
I mean, I'm gonna walk with my plexiglass, so
I wanted to tell the hearing you talk like the last couple of times, I just thought you was really freaky zeeky. But hearing your vulnerability tonight was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I really look at you in a different light. Not that I looked at you in a bad way. I just know that you was really sexually, intact. But hearing you tonight and your vulnerability was beautiful. Blessings to you.
Yeah, I am sexual, but
cool. That's cool.
Yeah, but and this is the thing. I didn't want to really go there, but because I feel like
that, and then it tends to just.
I feel like it allows people to take advantage, I should say.
Right.
It allows people to take advantage. So you might meet a dude and you might give him your all, and within you feel like this is how you express yourself. This is how you're showing him that you're interested. But in him, he looking at it as this bitch is a freak. You understand what I'm saying? And that's where shit gets distorted and misconstrued because you are seeking that person to love you. You're seeking that person to give your all, and you're trying to impress them by showing them your high sexuality, but they're looking at it as, all right, shorty's a little freak. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to go check my freak tonight. So, and this is why I go back to when you fall in love with you, then you know what you are going to allow within your life. That's what I'm saying. And that's why I was going to go with it a long time ago, but I didn't really want to go there.
Okay.
It was good to just see like a different side of her tonight. Like we really getting to know you. We talk to you probably every Tuesday, every time we come on, you join. It was just good to see a different side because nothing's wrong with being overly sexual and
I just want to thank you guys are doing fantastic work. I don't know if you guys know, but people are healing from this.
I appreciate that, man. We appreciate that.
The other guy's point, like he was talking about the viewership is usually less, and when it comes to this kind of open dialogue, because people like the messy stuff, but this is healing, and I appreciate you guys.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate it, man. What's the name? What's your cat name?
Patience.
Oh wow, you see, Patience.
I named her that because that's the thing. That's the one characteristic I wish I was better at, was being more patient. And she is the sweetest, calmest, doesn't scratch, nothing.
I'm sorry, she's not that cute. We're dog people.
I know you're not supposed to ask a lady her age. You don't want to say that's fine, but like, how old are you? If you want to give a range, 20s, 30s.
No, I don't get offended by those questions. I'm 29. I turned 30 in October. I'm a Libra. For those who thought I was a Scorpio.
I think 30 is the
that's the time that you find yourself.
Exactly. That's the finding time. That's the finding yourself time. I think it's very difficult, but then now here comes the seriousness. Here comes the what do you want out of life? What do you want to pursue? What's making you happy? What's you know what I'm saying? I think all of those questions come in when you turn 30 for most of us.
Right.
Some people, you know, it takes maybe I would say 30 to 35, right? And like I said, man, I think that we definitely need to have a off the air conversation. Um, DM send your number to us.
I sent Kirby a friend request, so she didn't respond.
Oh no, I have a lot. Okay, okay, I'll find you.
So DM your number and we'll hit you up on the weekend and maybe we can.
DM who for Kirby?
It doesn't matter.
DM me so I could find your so I could accept your friend request.
Okay.
All right. So you take care, stay blessed, and do some soul searching. All right.
Definitely. Bye.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
I love that night, man.
Hey, you helped her. She went high, low.
All right, let's go, Munchie.
What's up, Munchie?
Let's go.
Good night.
Munchie.
Good night.
What's up, people? Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
You sound like you cooking.
I am.
What you over there frying?
Hubby wants. The only person that's responsible for your own happiness is you. But if you're going to be in a relationship, a partnership, any kind of ship, everybody should be contributing to. Okay?
Right.
You shouldn't be with anyone and they're taking away from or not adding to anything. That's just how I see it.
Right.
But to put that responsibility on someone is ridiculous because they're trying to make you happy. They have children. They're trying to make the children happy and themselves happy, and it's just too much responsibility for that.
Right.
How do you get to know yourself and be content within yourself? You get to learn the things that you like to do, and you learn to even if anybody else don't understand it, you own it.
Right.
Your quirks, your flaws, and everything. You have to own that and be who you really are. Healing is big. And the way I feel a lot of people need to heal is to address things with people in their past, their parents, anyone who has wronged them. The problem with a lot of people is when things come up, they suppress them. Things manifest negatively, either in anger or physical sickness. You can make yourself sick, suppressing your feelings.
Right.
So if you don't address things head on, and you don't have to address it in a nasty way, but if you don't address it, then it turns into resentment and it's going to come up really bad. Or you're going to be like really old and
By yourself.
or in a relationship and really unhappy. So
Right.
you gotta know exactly. I don't think anybody should get into any kind of committed relationship without really knowing themselves. And when you do get in a committed relationship, being equally yoked is great, but opposites attract, and they attract often. And that is a way for people to learn differently about other walks of life by being attracted to opposites. You learn a different way of living, a different way of thinking, a different way of being, and you can also teach them.
I think that the terminology going to my grave with this it have been overly exaggerated. I feel like your happiness, your peace, and your relationship is things that you need to address.
But who are you fooling that you're going to the grave with anything?
Exactly. You're fooling yourself.
Not fooling anybody.
You're fooling
people
yourself.
Can tell that something isn't right. So you're not really taking anything to the grave.
Exactly.
It shows up in your parenting, it shows up in your relationships, it shows up in your finances. You're really not going to the grave with anything. When, like I said, if something comes up, it comes up to it. Even when you're playing a role, it's only so far you can play that role. You're really not that person. So the real you will stand up eventually.
I agree.
So that's why I always tell people, when people show you who they are, believe them the first time, and then make a decision if this is something you can deal with in your life. Because yes, people can change, but they don't usually change that much of themselves.
Yeah. But that goes back to what Nigel be saying. They send out their representative first. You don't be knowing.
Right. Exactly. But it's the truth, because you're trying to automatically impress people. So you're not really being your 100% self. But the more you get comfortable, then you start to come out little by little. Just like kids. Every kid tries their parents to see how far they could go. And if you don't correct that kid, then that kid is going to take the little inch is going to turn into a mile, then a whole yard. You understand what I'm saying? So everybody does that. It's just you got to catch it you got to catch it the first time and say, you know, that thing you just did. Somebody keeps calling me. If you're expressing yourself to someone that you claim to love and they claim to have respect for you, then they should understand and say, you know what, I'll try to do better. But if you're expressing your discomfort in something, hey, and the person is saying, well, fuck you, then fuck them too.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, the representative could only come out for a certain amount of time, right?
Yeah, for a certain amount of time.
And at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of people accept the when the real person come out. I think that the representative is to get you, right? But after they get you and they show their true self, people accept it because they already feel like they're invested.
No.
So now you just stick with the bullshit because it's convenient.
But that's a choice, bro. But that's a choice. But that is a choice. If the representative,
it's a choice, but it's also the believing that representative is gonna come back.
Yeah.
You thinking to yourself, nah, I know this person as this. This is what that person displayed to me, and somehow I'm going to try to find that person. This is me.
But the fact that
now you're caught between trying to find back the representative when they're actually showing you who they genuinely are.
Okay, so the representative has the potential to be better than they really are.
Of course, because if you faked it, then you're capable of it.
Right. So when the real person shows up, you gotta get that person and say, look, okay, I like you better that way. And if the person says, okay, well, this is who I really am, then you gotta really believe that this is who they really are. I was just pretending, but now that we cool, I could feel like I could be myself. So when they telling you this is me, believe them. That representative ain't coming back.
That's the scary part.
That's the scary part.
I've always been a believer that if you let somebody talk long enough, they'll tell on themselves.
Absolutely.
You just let them keep talking, because they gonna tell you, like, and then when you start to realize, were you lying then or are you lying now? It doesn't matter if they were lying then. Yeah, you just let them keep talking. They gonna tell on themselves.
Yeah, you're gonna see it consistent.
But what I'm saying is when they start telling who they are and they lying on themselves, or they tell the truth on themselves, right? Are you willing to accept that? Or are you gonna stick around hoping that the representative come back?
You want that?
Yeah, but you stay in the relationship hoping for the old thing to come back. So you're in the matrix now, because you're being treated the way you don't want to be treated. you're subjecting yourself to shit that you don't want to subject yourself to, hoping that this person comes back.
Okay, but you can't just rush out though, because again, it goes back to what you were saying about how people were raised and about their brought up seeing all of that. So if you try to work on it and it's not changing, it's not getting any better, then by all means, don't sit and hurt yourself trying to make someone a better part of themselves. But you can't be so quick to quit on someone because you probably have a flaw. You got to give people a chance before you just call it quits. But I'm not going to tell anybody to stick around and take any like something that they really, really can't cope with, and the other person has no,
My father
changing.
always said to me, "Nobody's perfect, but it's what you're willing to tolerate."
It is absolutely
right, and that's what it is. At the end of the day, what are you willing to tolerate? Some things may get to you, and it may be passive, and you be like, "Oh, you know what? I can work." That there is not for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, a lot of people go for people that they feel like they can work on, and then when they start resenting them because they realize, nah, I can't fix you. No,
but that's also a two-way street, right?
Yeah.
That's also a two-way street, because at times you might be in a relationship with somebody that you feel they do have the potential to change these things.
Yep.
But they are not working on themselves. They are the ones who not admitting to themselves that they need to change this. They are the ones who are saying, "Oh, I'm good the way I am." You know what I'm saying? So what do you do then?
You know what I noticed now, though? I think a lot of people are getting a lot more hip to it than back in the days. It used to be like, people were using children and marriage and all kinds of commitments to fix brokenness. And I feel like I've seen that change a lot over the years. Everybody has a particular power in a relationship. Like I was hearing 50-50. No relationship is 50-50. I'm going to keep it real with you. I've been with my husband for 20 years. We've been married.
Depends on what you call 50-50 though.
Yeah, but it's not 50. It's never going to be 50.
I might feel like I'm giving my 50 by providing and doing this.
Right.
And you may feel your 50 is taking care of the kids and cooking.
But that's what I'm saying. It's never going in the relationship. But
I agree.
Everyone should be participating and doing their part. I'm just going to keep it real with you. There's no 50-50 in no relationship, no partnership, no nothing. It's not. Even if you go in with an investor, that person gave you maybe half of the money, but you doing all.
It's true. I just doubled that the other day.
That person is calling you like crazy. Who that?
Yeah, so my sister, wrong or right?
That's true.
Right? So there's always going to be someone giving more. You may be doing more of the finances, and she may be doing more of the cooking and cleaning and the child rearing. And then somebody's going to say, "Oh, I do this more than this." And that's how it always goes. So stop looking for the 50-50. Just make sure that everybody's playing their part and everybody's happy and the household is flowing in a positive direction, and nobody feels taken advantage of. That's the most important part.
That's true. I agree. I concur.
That's the most important part for everybody, for nobody in the relationship to feel taken advantage of. So.
Hallelujah. I agree with you, Munchie. Thanks.
You're welcome, guys. Good night.
I appreciate you, Bunch.
No problem.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Let's take 2 more calls and we're gonna wrap it up.
I'm here.
I'm here. Next week, we're going to be talking about. I'm telling you.
Hey guys.
Hey, what's up?
I'm good. So,
What you eating?
some fish. I just got home with the boys from soccer practice, and
literally hit request and then started cooking.
Wow. So do you
And I
understand?
said to
You
myself,
know,
I just put some rice in my mouth and I said, watch them call me now when I'm eating.
so you see what the topic is, right?
Yeah.
You heard a
So,
little. You heard a little bit of conversation.
yeah, I've been listening since the rest was on.
All right. Good.
So, for the first for I think her name was Tashima. You can't expect anybody to be responsible for your own happiness because, especially for somebody like her, who's been through what she's been through, what happens when, I think she said it's supposed to be a 70-30 split. But what happens when the person is gone? They take the 30 that they brought? Like, how does that work?
That's a good question. That is an awesome question. Do they leave with they 30% and you right back where you was at?
You right back where you were. She will always be right where she was every time she meets somebody if she's expecting them to give her 30% at least.
Right.
I mean, nobody's and work on themselves while they're together building their unit.
Her thing was that she wanted to understand what does that mean, working on yourself. And I try to explain it to her, but maybe you have a different aspect of it, so maybe you want to go into it.
The only thing that I would add to what you told her was I think she wanted like a direct example of how that actually looks. So just like I think Kirby said it and the lady next to her, dating herself. And what dating herself looks like would be she can become a people watcher. She can go sit in the mall with herself and just watch people and decide things that she like from things that she don't like. Go to the ice cream store by herself. Find out, does she like chocolate? Does she like vanilla? Watch people go by. If she's into whoever she's into, just watch them and decide, do I like them round? Do I like them tall? Do I like them short?
You know what it is. I feel like it is with her is that she expresses herself and her feelings sexually. I have the same sexually, right? And I think that she's expressing herself sexually to the wrong people. So therefore, she brings herself up, and they just drop her.
Yeah.
So she's falling from someone who doesn't even. I tell people, I tell women this a lot of times. A lot of times, women give men.
They give too much of themselves too soon.
They give men what men. Certain men are out of their caliber. Certain men is out of their caliber, right? And if you let a man that's not in his caliber get with you, guess what happens? You just built that man's confidence. So now
he knows he can go get somebody else just like you.
Cornball that feels like he's in this caliber now because he had a certain class of woman, right? So now you gave this man the confidence to go and talk to people who's way out of his caliber.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So now you build your own monster. You built a fucking Frankenstein. Somebody who didn't deserve your time, somebody who didn't deserve your energy, your love, your sex, somebody who didn't deserve that, you let them have it. So now you've created your own monster. And now that's what's gonna happen to multiple women because of what you allowed. You understand what I'm saying? So you gotta understand that a lot of times you gotta understand what's your level. What is your interest? What do you allow for yourself? Who is in that caliber of you? How do you value this nigga? All right, let's say for example, let's just keep it real. You a woman, you got a career, you got a good job, you fucking with a drug dealer nigga, or you fucking with a nigga that don't take care of his kids, or you taking care of a nigga who got 4 or 5 women around the place. He doesn't deserve your time and attention, but you gave it to him.
Right.
So now you build a person who not even in your league, but you let him manipulate you for whatever it was. So now he's walking around thinking that this is what it is.
Thinking
Now
he's
I
a
could
chick,
get
yeah.
now I could get a chick that's a nurse. So now I could get a chick that's a
Yeah.
social worker. Or now I could get a chick that has a master's. Because guess what? I don't even got a fucking high school diploma. And I bagged this chick that got a master's and I smashed her up and she let me do all this weird shit to her. And at the end of the day, now, what does that say?
Exactly. And that's what's wrong with a lot of what's going on in society right now. That's the big problem. People don't know their worth. They don't know their value. I mean, shit happens. Cut that umbilical cord, just cut it off, because they're going to go out there not knowing that Mary was putting up with a lot of their shit, and they think that they're the shit, and then they find out that, well, I ain't shit because I can't get with Paula over there. But it's because Mary made you feel like, but I think it has a lot to do with how we grew up.
That's why I said earlier, you have to know what you are willing to tolerate. You have to know how you value yourself. Now, if you're gonna drop your standard, or you don't, let's not even say drop your standard. Let's say you within yourself feel like I'm not worthy or I don't value myself a certain type of way. People take advantage of that. You understand what I'm saying? People will take advantage of that if you let them. So at the end of the day, no matter what you accomplished, right? And this is how a lot of shit get misconstrued, because if no matter what you accomplish, if you still not feeling whole within yourself,
right,
then you're allowing dumb shit to come your direction. Dumb shit is gonna come your way all the time because you don't even have a value on yourself.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? So now you got a car, you got a job, you got a career, you got education, you got your own place, but yet you letting this bum ass nigga that don't even fucking got nothing come around you and being you and then telling you what to do and how to live.
Telling you what to do with your own shit in your own place, right? It's crazy.
Exactly. So now, what are you creating? What are you creating? So now you got to be whole within yourself to understand what your value is. You got to be whole within yourself to understand and to identify when a nigga is not on your standard, and that's just real. Like I'm not saying anybody's less than anybody or you can't find love in AutoZone or McDonald's. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is when you allow somebody that is beneath you or beneath your standard or didn't accomplish as much as you accomplished or didn't grow the way you grew or whatever the case may be, if you let them manipulate you, you're bringing yourself down to that.
Because we're nurturers, we have this tendency to try to fix people. And then when you start, it's not an excuse, but it's what happens because, and especially once you get into that situation, I think a lot of the times people stay longer than they need to because you do a year and then they show you their true colors and now you're like, oh shit. But you don't want to just go start all over because you done did that 1 year. Next thing you know, you're trying to fix it and it's 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. And the longer it goes on. What are you
subjecting yourself to then?
Yeah. But the longer they're going to say, I wasted all that time. They're going to say, I allowed him to play me, but they have to just know to get out. So conversations like these are really important so they can see and understand that there's no time like the present to get out. When you need to get out, you just have to.
Right. Let's say for example, you have a good man. This man is a provider. He's intelligent. He has an education. He's good with the kids. He's always there for you. Let's say, for example, this man happens to slip up and cheats, right? But then you have a nigga who don't spend much time with you. He don't take care of his own kids. He don't really associate with your kids, and he's not really doing much for himself, and he cheats on you. Do they both deserve
not bringing the same amount to the table. He's not.
Right. So you can't put everybody in the same category. So you got a bum ass nigga that cheated on you, but you're gonna work it out with him because it's been a year. And
It's been a year.
you understand what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
Then you have but then you have a good nigga who really genuinely whatever, and he slipped up. You might want to say fuck him.
Slipped up. Slipped up.
I'm just giving realistic situations is what I'm saying.
Right. No, it happens all the time.
Because girls will give a bum ass nigga a chance way quicker than she would give a nigga that's about something a chance.
That's worth it, yeah. Because the bum ones usually come with a lot more lights and dazzle and, because they are showmen.
That's the nigga with 12 inches.
And you can sprinkle all the sugar you want to.
Yeah. They're usually the ones with the sweet talks, man.
So, ladies, my basic advice or my basic opinion is don't let niggas fuck out of the category. You a bum nigga, go fuck with a bum bitch.
Yep. Word of the day.
And he cheats on you, run. If he's litty and he cheats on you, run.
Run more.
Grab something to remember him by and run.
Not cheat.
Yep.
Not cheats. Cheat.
Yep.
Cheats. Never cheated.
It wasn't about the cheating. It was about the cat the
cat.
The standard of it, the category of it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, you're right.
Because you can't put everybody in the same box. That's all I'm saying.
But that's the thing. It's okay if the guy is not doing that well and he cheats on you. What? You still your peace of mind. Like, okay, he's done well for himself. He's always treated you right. You have a good relationship with him, but he cheats on you. You still not gonna have that peace of mind, and that peace of mind is everything. You got to beat it, buddy. You was a nice guy.
Everybody.
But hold on, Kirby. But Kirby, how that works generally though is the guy who doesn't do much for you, when he cheats on them, it's like, what the hell? You're barely doing anything. Give him a pass because hey, well, at least he paid the bill.
Can everybody attest that they cheated on somebody in there?
Facts.
Okay. You never cheated on nobody? You never cheated on nobody?
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, you the only person that never cheated?
I didn't cheat. I fucked somebody else because we wasn't together at the time.
In your mind?
She got that Jada.
Not in my mind.
Jada.
If I fucked somebody else, we were not together.
Okay, so everybody in here except for Kasha cheated.
She's drawing a technical. She's getting technical on you, mate.
What I'm saying to you is, was the nigga worth it that cheated on you? Did you know that in yourself that you shouldn't have been with this nigga in the first place? Did you know that? Did anybody know that? Or female? Was the person worth it in the beginning? Was the person ever worth it to you that you allowed the cheat to go down?
He was a stripper.
It wasn't worth my peace.
Usually when it's done, then you're like.
Was the person a valuable person to your life?
Nah.
This is my point that I'm making. It wasn't a valuable person from day one.
Nah.
Then you let the nigga cheat on you on top of it.
Broke me down.
You're talking about, okay.
The person
in those situations, a lot of times people stay in situations because they think they love someone. So the bum ass nigga that's getting the second chance, even though he ain't doing shit for her, he ain't this, is because she thinks she's in love with
lack of something within her.
No, it's the time that she invested. A lot of the times, it's the time.
What are you talking about? It's something within you.
What'd you say?
Most of the time, it's the time that was invested.
Right.
You think about the time that you invested, because
So
then
women allow men to cheat because of the time they invested?
It's not even
no, they stay because of the time that was invested.
develop feelings, you start
They overstay.
you don't want to lose that. So you allow certain things. You're like, okay, well, maybe he's not going to do this again. You find all kinds of reasons as to why it's not going to happen.
So do you, all right, so let me ask you a question. And this is to the women. Did you value yourself before you dealt with that person that cheated on you? And be real with yourself.
Before?
Yeah.
Or during?
Before, yes.
Before
Then during you start losing a bit of yourself. But in the beginning, yes. But so when you start giving too much of yourself to those people, you start losing bits and pieces of you. And the value of you, yes.
Okay, so
and until you find that again, then you're stuck there.
So what I'm asking you is, and I'm talking to the women in this room, because they ain't answered the question yet.
Okay.
Did y'all value yourselves before?
I answered. I said yeah.
So the person that
and I can say for me in that situation, I wanted to believe the lie. I wanted the lie to be real, even though I knew deep down in my heart, like, this nigga lying.
And you?
For me, it's one of those things where it's like you have to know what you're willing to accept and what you're not. So I knew the nigga was a cheater. So it's like if I stay, I have to know that this dude cheats, and I stayed. So
I don't think that the person devalued me because no one can take my value away. I think I forgot my value, why I put up with it. You can take my value away. I'm always gonna be who I am, and I'm always gonna be.
Yeah, but you subjected yourself to stay in a relationship where a nigga was cheating.
And I said that he was not to let him do that to me.
Can I answer on this too? I was devalued the shit out of you.
I mean, to allow someone to constantly cheat on you, I feel like, yes, I forgot who I was as an individual, but I also feel like that person contributed to lowering my value. I started to question myself. I started to question my low esteem, my self-esteem.
Yeah.
I started to question, am I really as valuable as I think I am?
I'm not gonna let that situation for me, that situation for a hot minute, I'm not gonna lie, broke me for a hot minute.
Of course.
It was just so much emotionally, like you said,
but it's not you that put yourself through it. That person put you through it.
Mm-hmm. They going to help you.
You accepted it. You accepted it, but that person came in your life and brought you to that.
But after the first, second, third time, you was putting yourself through it. After it happened numerous times, you have to take accountability for it. Like, okay.
What did you do to bring yourself out of that situation?
Well, yeah, it's usually them because they know what their intentions are coming in, whereas you don't.
That's what I'm saying. So
it's them who bring you in it.
I never dated another stripper, I tell you that, goddamn.
Lie.
That's a fucking doormat.
Well, I appreciate you for calling in. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you.
For watching.
Bye, guys.
God bless you. Good night.
Let's take one more before we hang it up. Ooh, we got a lot of requests.
Dang. We're going to be here all night.
You got your letter request here today. Yeah, but it's not only about cheating, though.
Sometimes it's an upgrade.
Sometimes.
How you doing, guys?
How you doing? What's up?
Good evening.
So I just been listening to everything that's been, being said and everything. And I've been in relationships. I have 2 kids for 2 different men, and I understand what you got, where you guys is coming from, and
Whoa.
no, I know you guys are
Let's
black.
put a pause there. What do you mean you're straight up black?
I mean, I'm not from the island. Period.
You're straight up American, was what you mean?
I'm sorry, sir. You're correct. Sorry,
Thank
sir.
you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
No
But
problem.
to what you guys were just speaking on and everything, you know, like I said, like I posted, I was in a relationship with 2 different guys. I got 2 different kids, and to be dragged down and have to figure out how to deal with my certain situations, it was a lot for me. With just not even just with the whole cheating. The cheating came after the fact. It was more so just the little things that happened. So I was expecting him to do certain things, like you guys were saying, like his percentage of being the man, the role of the household, being the king, and then me dealing with the kids and going to work. We both had full-time jobs and all of that. But I did let some of his quirks and some of his flaws come into play with everything that we had going on. And I wasn't trying to lose myself in that relationship, but it ended up happening. You know what I mean? And I didn't want it to be that. So yes, I definitely valued myself from the beginning in both situations, but that was not what I was coming into the relationship with or trying to bring to the table. I didn't never want to lose myself. I wanted to grow and definitely be basically a powerhouse for us and our kids. We work day-to-day jobs just like everybody else. And I just wanted us to be on the same page, but for some reason we could not be on the same page.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what I want to ask you is, you said you had 2 different kids with 2 different men, right?
Yes.
Did they share any similarities?
No.
They're 2 opposite people. Period.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I ended up leaving the last relationship for the last relationship was roughly 6 years, and I say 6 years even though we have a daughter that is 5, only because when we did meet up and link up, he kind of already had a kid that was on the way, and his son is now 7. Our daughter is 5, so it kind of like overlapped. But I chose to still stick it out for the ride to get to know him as a man and see what was going on with him. He brought things to the table just as well as I did, but for some reason now we're separated. We're now we have to do the whole co-parent thing,
right?
And we're still working on it now, but I'm trying to understand how it is, and which is what you guys are doing tonight. How you can basically be happy. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not happy, but I'm definitely happy because I left it because it was time consuming and the energy was drained. But I want to furthermore be able to give that same energy that I was willing to put into those relationships for the 8 years in the first one and then the 6 years in another one, and be able to channel it to my kids. I have 2 daughters. I don't want them to feel that they need to grow up and continue to choose the.
This is interesting. Did y'all hear her question? Did y'all understand her question?
Basically, saying how she not make the same mistake over here. Is that
No.
what I'm gathering?
No, she's saying how did you channel the same. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
How do you channel the same energy that you want to invest and give to the relationship? How do you channel that into the same relationship with your kids, and so that they won't make the same mistakes that she
Yes.
I'm gonna leave this for the women tonight because they are the women. They are the mothers.
Right.
How do you channel that energy? I guess you could just, for me personally, I think you have to set examples for your kids, but that's not to say that they're not going to make their own mistakes. They may come along and pick the same kind of fucked up men that you did, but as long as you know that you instill certain things in them, they won't stray too far from it. They'll never stray too far from that. So for me, it's just showing them the way, basically. Whether
Right.
you're gonna take their advice or follow your lead, you don't know because that's their life and they gotta lead. But just know that you did your best to show or set good examples for them, and they'll show a child a way, and they'll always find their way back, even if they stray.
Or depressed or disappointed. I know there are some women who can possibly have this same situation and feel disappointed, but like I said, I definitely try to make sure that I can be presentable for them, not so much just with the men that I'm dealing with or who I have dealt with or just their fathers, because at the end of the day, I'm not trying to bash their fathers, and I don't, but I don't want them to see that mommy's just accepting that, daddy didn't do this or mommy and daddy didn't work out, because like you said, you can have a bum ass nigga or a type of nigga who was doing this or whatever the case is, and then it just didn't work out. And I'm guilty of that. I have chosen poorly, but
well, that's where your answer is right there. Your answer is lead by example, and like Tasha said, there's no guarantee that your daughters is not going to make the mistake. What I'm saying is, you show them the best possible example of what you require for yourself, what your standard is, what you're willing to accept, and what you're not willing to accept.
Right.
Therefore, they will have that as an example in their household.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Now,
yes.
if you bring in a nigga that's weak and a nigga that you could talk to anyhow, particularly they might end up with a nigga they could talk to anyhow, and they could talk to weak, and you know what I'm saying? So you have to lead by example.
Saying, because my family, they have always said that to me. They're like, oh, you're always the man in a relationship. It's not that I want to be. It's not that I try to be.
Well, I think that's a big problem. I think that's a big problem in the black community, period.
Okay.
I think that the women naturally, because of the lack of the responsibility of men, you guys depend on yourselves, and you guys take control.
Yes.
But you also have to let a man, when you get with that man that is going to fulfill those requirements and that thing, you need to let that man be a man. And it's a double-edged sword for me, because I feel like you can't allow a man to be a man when he's already a man. You have to fall back and allow that man to be the man.
So then how much further fall back do you need to do is you're expecting him to show up in certain areas, especially, when it comes to the kids or him being the provider. If, like you guys kind of spoke on, when it's the man who's providing, or that's his role that he takes on, and there's an understanding in that household, and then he starts to slack, not because he doesn't have the resources to provide, but only because he's just being a lazy ass type of dude.
If you can't find yourself in a situation being realistically submissive to that person, then maybe you need to rethink that relationship, and maybe that's just not the one for you. And there's being strong, and then there's being the man in the relationship. What? being submissive.
They don't like that word on this.
Oh no. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I don't know about everybody else, but I'm okay. I got you.
It is. I mean, I had to understand that I don't want to be the man in my relationship, and I refuse to be the man in my relationship. I don't want to. I have no desire to be the man in my
There's
relationship.
a lot of women that don't even see that though.
This is true.
The man.
Yeah.
Or not they're being the man. They're trying to be the man.
Trying to be the man.
A lot of women don't even see that.
I had to years ago, literally, and I thank God for at that time my pastor and stuff like that I had to literally have like a real conversation about being submissive and about that doesn't take away from me as a woman. I mean, they can be mad all day. You can have your.
Like submissive.
Things is at this point in time, and how old you say your daughters were? Because I'm gonna ask. I know you said one was 5 and one was
11.
I would, to me, especially as you're dating, I'd be very leery about who I have around my kids, around
right.
you know, whether it's a daughter, a son, this, that, the other, being leery about who is around and who has the privilege to be around your child.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can't just, you got to feel out a situation to see and get to a certain point before you even allow somebody to meet. I don't give a shit if you want to meet my kid. You're not just going to meet my kid like that. No,
right.
Question.
Go ahead.
Does submissive go both ways?
It does in some respects, but
yeah.
Like what? Give me an example.
What being submissive?
Yeah, like a man being submissive. Give me an example. Because a lot of people is commenting and saying that being submissive goes both ways. So I want to know. I want to understand that.
In a male's role, it is, I would say, as far as I think in both as far as being understanding, and not just understanding, but how you handle a situation and understanding when to fall back.
Yeah, I agree with her.
Understanding when to be attentive, being attentive when pull back. Conversation with the gentleman that I'm dating off site. There are just certain conversations and just certain things that will never happen publicly.
Right.
The gentleman I'm with, we went out on an outing. He said, well, you know what I mean? It's time for us to go this, that, the other. Even if I wasn't necessarily interested in leaving at that time, it wouldn't have been a conversation that would have been held in front of people.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? If I wasn't necessarily,
would you leave though?
Would I leave? I damn sure grabbed my purse and got the hell on.
Do y'all agree? That
I mean, and
goes both ways.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree with her. You know, and again, I'm not saying that when I'm talking to somebody or trying to get someone or get to know someone, that I am going into it trying to be, I guess, you know, like I said, the male version, or just me. It was just always, you know, okay, you see me, you like me, we talked, we gave it another chance, we went on another date, we had more conversation. I pretty much gave you or told you or said to you certain things as to who I am and what I kind of expect. And then if you decided to run with it, then how is exactly.
I
And I guess for the most, so when I say that my family has said to me that I'm always the man in the relationship, that's where that conversation came from, because they're saying that basically I'm too much more controlling.
Us keeps quiet.
I think I wanna go back to the submission thing because I feel like everybody a little riled up by that.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, I feel like submission is allowing or trusting someone enough to lead you in that way. And I don't it's not a gender thing because sometimes you want to have to lead your man. Your man's gonna have to lead you. Trusting that person enough, knowing that they love you enough, having that faith in them, like I trust you, okay, you got this, lead.
Yes.
There are certain things as far as work-wise, business-wise, I am good at because that is my expertise.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I have, not only do I do stand-up comedy, this, that, the other, but I do real estate. I have been a paralegal for 11 years, litigation paralegal. There are just certain things in certain areas in life that I am very good at.
Right.
In those areas of life and in areas in our relationship.
Somebody said, I'll submit, pay my bills, pay my, what? Hold on. I'll submit, pay the bills, pay my school fees, and I'll stop working.
That's not even what I'm talking about. But in those certain areas where these certain topics and these different things where it just is what it is, I'm better at because that's my expertise. That's the time for him to fall back because I know what I'm talking about in this particular area. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm in. There are some, like, perfect example. I had this conversation with my father on many occasions. He said to me that traditionally back in the day with my grandparents and even with my parents, that as far as the accounting and this, that, the other of the household, that my accounting, they knew this, that, the other, how to pay the bills, this, that, the other. It doesn't take away from the fact that my father, my grandfather made this money, but she was just better at keeping the books. Like, if I know that you good at working, but maybe your counting, you gonna have our accounts all the way jacked up, that's the area that you need to fall back because that's not what you're good at. You're gonna have us bouncing checks, this, that, the other, because arithmetic isn't your strong point.
Right. Right.
Was younger because he was just a better cook than my mom. It just wasn't what it was. My dad is an amazing chef. Like, he's just amazing at it. And it didn't mean that my mother didn't cook. It's just that in the kitchen, my dad threw down.
Right.
So there were a lot of moments where my dad cooked. It didn't take away from him as a man.
Let me ask you that. That was her father being submissive to your mom, so he cooked?
He was good at it and he fell back. So yeah.
Because if I could cook better than my old lady, I would cook.
I don't think
that's submissive. I think that's compromise.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a difference between submissive and compromise.
Okay.
Two hands have to clap. Two hands make a whole.
And that's why I was asking y'all about submission.
Yeah. Submissive, is that kind of like a loss?
I don't think it as a loss if you're collectively trying to build a household or a family or routine. I don't think it, like you guys said, it's compromise and give and take. So I wouldn't look at it as being a loss if he's in the kitchen cooking.
That's not
because when I come home from work, if he got home from work earlier than me,
if I come home from work at 4 and she come home at 6, I'm gonna wait till she fucking come home to cook.
No, sir.
For 3 hours before she come home to cook. That's compromise.
I don't say it's right. I wouldn't even call it compromise. It's common freaking sense.
common
She
sense is
can't fucking
not.
cook. Who wants to eat that food every night? The lady can't cook.
The dogs want to be.
You would be surprised how many people would.
And so with that being said, that was one
Tasha,
of
hold on 1 second. Tasha, I just seen you put up the definition of compromise of submission. Could you read it out for us, please?
The act of fact, the action or fact of accepting or yielding to a superior force or the will.
Hold on. Start again.
The action or fact of accepting other person.
Okay.
Thank God I can read the paragraph out loud.
Okay. Okay.
So with that being said, are y'all still in agreement that submission goes both ways?
You didn't answer the question.
And I will not answer the question.
You're not going to answer.
No, I will not.
Yeah, I don't think it's being a slave either. Someone said.
I don't get into the debates about certain things because my shit is gonna go into spirituality, and spirituality is something different, and I don't want to go into that lane about it. So I'll leave that alone.
And we'll be back next week.
Y'all are taking the superior force thing a little too serious. Superior force just simply means if you have a degree in IT work and you are amazing at it, and I don't know how to turn a computer on, you are the superior force in this situation.
Exactly.
You go ahead and handle the computer work. That's all that means.
Right. I again, like I said, I guess with all of that being said, and just wrapping it up, it's struggle, and I think that's what had to do with our demise and the things that kind of didn't make both of us happy. But when we sat down and we actually talked about it, there was no understanding from both parties, because it was like I could say to him like, okay, well, you didn't do X, Y, and Z, and then he could say, well, you didn't do this, and then it was an argument. And that's why I said, bringing it back to the conversation before, the whole cheating thing. The cheating thing didn't start till afterwards, because then I started to compromise and I started to let go my self-worth. So I started to let a lot of things fly by the side seam. Whereas before, when I came into the relationship, whether, just with my two kids' fathers, I knew what I wanted. I knew what I was expecting. I knew what I was trying to build with that man at that moment. And somehow, some way, it just didn't happen. The representative, like you guys said, came to the front like he was there. And it was kind of tricky because their representatives did come with the same idea as to what I was trying to plan for our future with us before the kids even came across the table. But then eventually certain things happened, kids came, everything. And then, like I said, I started to let things. But I did not lose my happiness because I still understood what I wanted. And I still understand what I want and what what will contribute to my lifestyle and what I do want to contribute now more so for my kids. So that way they don't just make the same sort of mistakes they will make the mistakes, but not stay stuck in those moments and be to the point where they're in abusive or verbal relationships. Because that's not, I don't ever want my daughters to look at me as, my mom was so weak, she stayed here for this many years and I seen her do it. No, that's not what I want. And that's what I did not want to teach them. So at the end of the day, I left these situations because I remembered what it was I wanted when I came to that table. But I did lose sight of a lot of stuff dealing with these two different relationships and long-term relationships. I didn't lose my happiness, but I did lose sight of a little bit of a confidence inside of me.
Can I ask her a question?
Yes, sir.
Are you more
I hope I got the shit to say.
Are you more submissive now to the new guy?
I don't have a new guy. There's no guy. It's just me and my girls. There's no guy. There's no guy. My daughters don't see any guys. I don't have a new guy right now. It's just us.
Okay. Are you willing to be submissive and going forward?
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I guess it depends on what the submissiveness looks like, because I'm still trying to make better for me and my girls. There are certain things and certain goals that I still have in place for us. So if I'm dating, or if I'm out or if a guy approaches me or wants to talk to me, for me, if he's not saying certain things that make sense to me, then I'm done. Relationship, or being just a bitch or whatever, or just be like, oh, she's just like, nah, let that shit go, or just not fucking with. But
question.
Yes, sir.
Did you have both parents in your relation in your life?
Yes.
They were under the same roof?
Yes.
Was your father submissive to your mother?
Sometimes.
Okay. So your mother wore the pants, or who wore the pants?
It depended on what was going on.
Okay.
It really did. So that's why I agreed with what she was saying.
I have no opinion about this. I'm just asking a question.
No, but that what's the lady in the with the
Miss B.
Miss D?
B as in boy.
Miss B. That's why I understood what she was saying to me, because I did have both my parents. I did grow up with both my parents. I seen the struggle, the fight, but at the end of the day, it's just like,
Struggles
okay.
of fight. What you mean by that? What that mean? The struggles of fight. What that mean?
Well, I chose those words, but I guess they were the wrong words. But it wasn't a fight. But
what you meant by that?
To me, it was a fight, because it was just like 1 minute my dad was like, one way, and my mother was another way. So for me, it was just like.
What that means, sweetie? I don't get that. What do you mean your mother was one way, your father was one way? I don't understand.
So when it came down to whatever was going on in
our struggle,
but no, I really wouldn't say it was a power struggle, but it was just like, okay, so for instance, when we came home from school, right? My mom would be at work. She's a nurse. She worked overnight. My mom would say, you guys, make sure your homework is done. Make sure you do this. Make sure you do that. We get home. My dad is already off from work. He's in construction. And we go to my dad. We say, hey, Dad, can you help us with X, Y, and Z? He'll be like, oh, no, wait till your mom get home. But mommy don't get home till late. And then she would get kind of frustrated or upset, like, why wouldn't you just help the girls with their homework? Or why would you wait for, why is it early in the morning that they're coming to me saying that they didn't do homework? So it wasn't a power.
I'm about to say shit.
Huh?
Your pop say no nothing. Nah, go ahead. I'm just running.
Y'all talking shit. Tell them what y'all say.
3 apples.
Your pops wasn't smart.
You dealing with a room full of comedians, so it's just like maybe
No.
homework.
He ain't help with homework. He ain't help with homework because he ain't know it.
He was on phonics. Yeah, like helping y'all do all of that wasn't.
But like that was one scenario. I mean, it was just, I guess, because me as growing up and knowing the different roles as to what they kind of set for us in the household, as to what she was going to do and what he was going to do. So whether or not he knew
that was a bad example, though. I think that was a bad example, though, because
okay,
wait till your moms come home till you do the homework. That's a little different from who wore the pants, who made the decisions.
gotta come like doubles tennis, like y'all on the same team. We passing the baton to each other.
Who made the decisions? Who was the who got their way? What you mean?
Let's keep it a buck. Women are running their household. But
Oh,
no, let me finish. But a good woman is gonna let her man feel like he came up with all those ideas when in reality she planted all of those seeds and she let you believe that you came up with those ideas by yourself.
He planted all the seeds. He came up with all the ideas.
Now, let's just
And I know, yes, baby, I know.
So what I'm gonna say to that is what she just said. I guess like you said, Major. I gave it wrong.
That's right. Facts.
I did. I possibly gave it wrong, but what she just said.
Facts, Kirby. Wow.
Was what she just, what's how it was. Period.
Hey, all the women up here saying facts. Kirby.
If you're doing it right, he has no idea that you are staring.
Hey.
Somebody said, "President, yay!"
President of Ad Club for Men.
All right, thank you for calling in, though. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
You discreetly.
I strongly disagree with that, but I'll leave that alone.
There ain't no reason to get into it. The word
what you said?
Submissive.
What did you say just now? You said you had something to say.
What when you were talking about it? Yeah. What I said, a weak man can't lead because for one, like you said, when you say broke, I see broke as different. I see the man that's broken down, broken spirited, ain't got no ambition or nothing. Like, you know what I mean? He won't go get no job or nothing like that. When you call a bum ass nigga that's still playing PlayStation all day smoking weed and he get weed money from you, that's a bum ass nigga. Like, you know what I mean? That type of shit. Nigga got habits, he ain't contributing or nothing. She shouldn't even be with a type of nigga like that. He shouldn't even be that far into her shit anyway. Past a couple of dates, weeks.
My question, before I say I strongly disagree, I want to know. My question is, what do you mean by you run shit? You plant the seed and you make it. I'm just asking a question. What do you mean by that? That's what I want to know.
Listen, speaking as a woman, I'm speaking for myself.
Mm-hmm.
I am a woman. I have the ability to lead softly, with poise and class, and I'm just a smooth operator. And if I want something to go some way, or I want to persuade you or convince you,
there are ways to go about it.
Does that mean you're running the ship?
Subconsciously,
in a way,
it is what it is.
Oh, okay.
It is what it is.
I mean, we fall back and let the chips, but we still, gently stroke.
Women are the whisper in your ear at the first thing in the morning and the last thing at night. That's who you listen to the most is your right hand woman, your wife, your significant other.
So does that mean you're running the ship? That's what I'm saying.
I said what I said.
Does that mean you're running the ship?
I said what I said.
It is you.
Somebody said stop blowing up our spot. Like I said, a good woman is
you smooth it out.
Her man would not feel less of a man.
You gently suggest things. You gently
suggest what?
Whatever. I said smooth operator.
Smooth operator what?
This is all of the glory.
How do you?
All
right, maybe I'm.
Yes, I'm smooth and I'm poised. Call it what you will.
My comprehension of running the ship, maybe that's I'm taking it too literal.
You are.
Maybe because running the ship means that you make sure everything goes according to plan. That's what I said. Running the shit.
Munchie said there's nothing wrong with what I said.
I mean, Munchie don't live here.
It's from behind the scenes. It's not a bad thing. It's just, as a woman,
it almost sounds like y'all agreeing to say, yeah, he think he runs shit, but I run this. That's what it almost. That's all I'm saying.
I think that every woman should have the ability to reason with her man to calm him down, or what's the finger for?
Reason and running shit is two different things.
Listen, okay, you don't like the word exactly.
The queen has the ear.
You don't like the word running. If it makes you feel. I know this will make you feel better. At the end of the day, you have the last say.
That's right, nurse.
Right? Give me a break.
But this is the problem with society right now.
Kirby, let me help you out. Because Major.
Is you again?
Yes.
Explain it to me.
Let's say, give us something that you don't like.
Who?
You.
No, sir. Go ahead and give your example.
Kirby, what's something that he doesn't really like doing? All right, let me get the information from Kirby.
Not destroy me tonight. Go ahead.
Kirby, horseback riding. Was it for your birthday?
No, we go all the time.
Okay, but let's say that you didn't like horses.
We wouldn't have any horses.
Huh?
We wouldn't have any horses if I didn't like horses.
Just work with me, Major. Just work with me.
No. If we're gonna talk reality, we're gonna talk reality.
Yeah, but okay. Well, give me some
riding. We wouldn't have horses.
Ah, shoot.
Go ahead, though.
So you think that if you didn't like horses, Kirby could not have convinced you to get her a horse?
No.
Yes, she could.
No, she couldn't.
Yes, she could.
You're right, baby. You're right.
How's she gonna convince me?
You're right.
How's she gonna convince me to get a horse for if I don't?
By planting the seed. It's a gradual process. It's not a you're gonna talk about it today and then tomorrow you go get the horse. No, it's a gradual thing that over a period of time she keep insinuating and she keep dropping little hints here and there and letting you know how she feels about horses.
Oh, and finance your horse.
I can't help you, Major. You wanted to know how this works, and I'm trying to show you and over a period of time.
So you're telling me that women manipulate men to do what they want them to do? Is that what you're saying?
Basically, yes.
Oh, okay. By the power
it doesn't work all the time. It doesn't work all the time. But in a lot of cases,
you know what run this shit mean?
She didn't mean it literally. She already said that. Get past that point. It's just simple little things that we can let you know about. And so what we do is we let you know about little things. And then eventually over time, you think that you're deciding to do these things, but it's not really you. It's really us from like even a year ago. Like we will take.
That's what I was saying.
Yes. It's like
the beauty of a black woman. Like,
yes.
I won't take it literal and say it's manipulation and this and that, but everybody or most women watch and know that they could hint to their man to get their.
If it's being done right, the man isn't even aware that it's being done.
Even be telling all my secrets.
I know. I was like, Kirby, what you doing? But since you out there. But do you get it now, Major?
Huh?
It's simple little things. It's not big things. It's not things that are gonna like put you out your way or that you're completely, totally against. Because if you're against something, then you're just totally against it. But there are some things that you just wouldn't have thought of doing by yourself and for yourself. But we put little hints in, and before you know it, a year later, from your making the decision to go do something that you think you came up.
I base my decisions off of making you think that you got me in a certain place where I would do whatever I want to.
And it works vice versa.
You're right.
It's not a one-sided thing. It's whoever is smartest.
B, who is running your household? Who do you feel like had the last say in your household? Who do you feel like had the last say? Him.
Is that for me or for Major?
Him.
Oh, okay, good.
Do you feel like
I influenced that say?
No, I'm talking about growing up.
Oh,
growing up with your parents, who do you feel like had the last say when it came to like a rule or enforcing anything?
My dad had the last say, but my mom definitely.
Do you think she had anything to do with him coming to that decision that he made? Yeah. Okay, that's my point, and that is simple as that. It's that simple.
This one turned into a woman waiting to exhale me.
It is not waiting to exhale.
That's what it always turned into every Tuesday.
I like you to exhale me. But also, I did watch my parents work together to make.
All right. So my question to you would be, if you had a conversation with your mother and your father, if you think one of them will say, "I ran the ship," or
both of them say,
or would they say, "We ran the ship together"?
Both of them say, "I ran the ship."
Oh.
To an extent.
Well, a smart woman would let the man say it and let him think he's running it.
I'm the captain now.
Or make him.
There's nothing wrong with letting him think he's running it. That's how we
I know
do our part in being submissive.
Later on, he was like, "Oh, not what he was trying to do."
We can't think for ourselves, can we?
Nigga, we just a shell, nigga. We just a shell. We just here. We just here to fucking do what they say.
The other night, though.
What?
When we was outside and we was having that conversation, you said that every. What did you say? You know what you said. You said every man has a weakness to a woman. That's every man's weakness is a woman.
True.
Right.
And
yeah, this is a part of it. Exactly.
Somebody said my mouth slipped. I'ma just shut up.
No, say what you gotta say.
No, I'ma just stop.
Don't quit while you
Don't quit now. Don't quit now. Niggas who killed niggas over women. There's niggas who killed themselves over women. There's niggas who've been broke over women.
There's niggas that killed the brother.
This is what I'm saying. So what does that have to do with what we're talking about now?
My whole point is, just like I said, I asked her the question who she felt like had the last say with everything, and she said her father. And I asked her, does she feel like her mother influenced that last say? And she said yes. That's all that I'm saying.
That is not what you said.
All right, well, take it home.
That was the gist of what she was saying, though. You were taking it literal, but she wasn't meaning it literally.
Listen, since I've been a kid in school, I've learned words and I've learned definitions. If you want to change it the way you want to change it, then that's on you. The word "running the ship" means that I'm in control of everything in this motherfucker. That's what that means to me. I don't know what it means to anybody else in this room. And I don't think a relationship's supposed to go like that. I think it's supposed to be a compromise of two people coming together and making constructive decisions. I don't think anybody should run anything.
Well, true.
But
yes.
but if that's how y'all view it and that's how y'all feel, that I'm smoothly finessing this nigga to do what I want him to do, then that's on y'all.
Point well taken, Major.
I
You
think
have a
that
point.
y'all ego tripping. That's what I think.
Do you feel like a man should have the last say because you didn't want to be a part of the conversation about submission?
Submission, yeah.
Right.
You didn't.
I didn't want to be. You involved me in it when you said that you run the shit.
I didn't say that I run the
You
shit.
said you run the shit. I smoothly with boys get what I want done in this house. That's what you said. So you got me out here looking like I'm fucking marshmallow man.
Because it goes both ways.
Well, nobody thought
And
that.
then you got all these single ass women up here agreeing with you.
No. At the end of the day,
Well, nobody thought that.
And you could take it how everybody could take it how they want to take it. At the end of the day, you get what you want when it comes to me. I also get what I want when it comes to you.
But that is not what you portrayed just now. What you said was, I run the ship. This lady came on and just said, if she wants a horse, ain't you gonna get it? That's two different things. Okay. We got horses because we both like horses.
Okay, cool. You don't want to give me the opportunity to clean up what I said.
All right, clean it up.
You don't want to give me the opportunity to clean up what I said.
No problem.
Like she said, if you didn't like the horses, we weren't going to get any.
Mm.
I think I have a lot to do with why you fell in love with that horse.
That's not how you clean it up, Kirby.
It is what it is. It is what it is. At the end of the day, you get what you want from me, and I get what I want from you. It's a give and take. I'm not just taking. You're not just giving, or vice versa.
Hey, can I say one thing on the outside looking in? You guys are equally yoked. I see 2 horses. I see 2 geese. I see 3 dogs. You both got everything you want. Look happy to me. I don't know.
Well, just to clear something up, though, Major, I didn't take what Kirby said to mean that you were
finessed. You was not finessed, man. Why are you making it seem like that? It's not like that.
Yeah, I don't think anybody took it like that, Major. I think we took it just like Kirby meant it, which was that subconsciously, she insinuates certain things and can get things done sometimes, not all the time. Nobody was trying to say that you're sitting over there like chicken liver doing, her bidding.
Somebody say, Kirby, you know you done fucked up, right? I talk too much. I chat too much. Baby.
Anybody need a drink?
Baby, you run this shit. You leading this, and I am just, I
never is running this.
You call the shots, baby. You the boss. You the.
Trust me, they single.
Yep. No.
Oh my God.
How you gonna be single?
Major said you got all these single women agree with you.
We all know that.
That's crazy that you would say that.
We know that. It is what it is.
So, how do we adjourn this thing? What did we learn today? Anybody?
We learned that we don't run shit, nigga. That's what we learned. We learned we don't run shit.
You're the boss, babe. You the boss.
All right. So where do we go from here? Where do we go?
I told you don't bring up that submissive word, bro.
We go wherever your man leads that ship, that's where we going, okay? Don't answer no more questions.
No, we're not doing that. I'm just in what do you call it? Autopilot.
Autopilot.
I'm in autopilot. I don't got a brain.
That's not.
You driving the ship though, Major. She just setting the course for you. But you manning the ship. Major manning the ship. Kirby just setting the course.
I'm not manning shit.
See, that's togetherness. It's togetherness.
Where's your man at?
Oh, Jesus, don't go there.
Where is he? Where you at?
It's good night time. Curry, I did a good job helping you out.
Where's your man at? That's what I want
to know. Yeah, what she said. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Have a blessed single night, okay?
I'll be goddamn. I love it. I love it.
Tasha is mad quiet tonight.
Who?
Tasha?
She had a long weekend, bro.
She's super quiet tonight.
The party didn't get started till she got the booster proof.
Yo.
Major, what going? Yo, listen, man. Where you there from, Bridget? Yo, listen, man. Nobody run the blood clot shit. You see me?
Who?
It's it. Nobody run the blood clot shit.
No, man, who man run this shit, brother? What you talking about, man?
Yo, bummer, you must say, man. No.
You don't hear them say?
Man, no business what them say, make big man. They can't go some man, no. If you're married at two people, it's a one and a one next one.
No, man, you don't run nothing,
work
man.
together, dog. No. That's why people fool and listen to people and they shit outside the door, and then somebody else come fuck them woman or fuck them man. Cause them fool. It's a relationship. It's a two people for running.
It's a relationship, brother. It's a slavery.
What, it's a surfboard?
Fuck your top.
Yo, big man, listen, man.
A situationship.
No situationship, dog. If you're married,
you do what them want, them to your front. That's how it go.
Man, them have to do more than that. Front alone, you can't run the ship in the dog. Front, they're plenty, you know. Remember that. That more time. Straight.
You'll be surprised.
Yeah,
You'll be surprised.
I don't know. You see it. But yo, if I just that, no man, it can't work. Two people have to sit down and say, yo, what is the best thing on us running?
You just a rent for the time being, you know. Right now, your time, you just a rent for the time.
Hey, yo, look, man. I'm going to go and pay my rent. I'm going to go and make sure that my rent never fall behind. You see me? Straight. On time, no question, any given day. That rent up front. You know? And then, you know, and then my other side, I feel the same thing. And I have to take care of each other and I have to, keep everything spicy, you understand?
Brother, that's what you are saying.
That's how me are saying.
That's how you are saying. How much woman say different?
No for them say different. Listen,
okay, so then you don't run nothing. Them say you're single, you know.
So them say. I understand big man, but people don't seem to understand. It's so thing about woman and man run this and that. Wise up. And I'm flashing of course. Man, look for some people at work now, some little youth, and I say, what a plan for the 20 years from now? For them people, they're not their mother yard and them a freaking 35-year-old. What a bummer plan.
Do man, them say you're single, brother.
Man. Them can't talk all them on. I'm not single, I'm not crying. Every single lady step on my fingers. Straight.
Okay.
Me not have them problem there.
Okay.
Everybody know that shit. Straight up.
Okay.
I rep my family, my 3 picnic, my 2 house, my quarantine, she have her quarantine, we good to gone. But at the end of the day, again, it's a relationship. Take 2 people for run it and you decide what's best for you and your family. The minute you step out of them guidelines there, now you have me suffer any which way you take it. Any way you take it. Remember that bomber flag.
All right, brother. Big up yourself. Yeah?
You don't know any of that.
All right.
Boiler room now?
They said, oh, he's married? Yeah, he's married. He's another one of them niggas that think he runs shit.
nigga got a what? Hey, I'll call you back. I'm coming.
Hello.
Oh shit, Major, what's good?
What's good, bro?
What's going on, chillin'?
I see you put a comment in the joint. What's up, bro? Talk to me.
What you mean? Is more women out here than men?
Nah, you said Kirby don't respect me.
Bro. She want to talk like that on live, bro. Come on, bro. Like she's the winner. She knows she ain't the winner.
You don't respect
She know that
because you came alive with no t-shirt on. Get out of here.
True. It's hot. It's New York. It's hot. I want no AC.
So why you think she don't respect me? Why you think she don't respect me?
Absolutely.
Cause she be talking crazy.
Like what? Like what? I'm trying to hear.
She said she run things, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And she knows she don't run things, my nigga. If it wasn't for you, she would be.
If it wasn't for me, what? She got her own. What you talking about?
What she got?
She got her own. What you talking about?
Like what? What she putting to bring to the?
She got her own. What you talking about?
She bringing a lot to the table, or you do?
She brings in enough to the table. What you talking about?
Okay. I respect that.
Oh, you thought I just was bigging her up? You thought I was just billing her? You thought I was just billing her and she ain't got shit?
No, I don't know. I'm just saying the way she was talking is like she got her shit. You know what I'm saying?
The way I was talking,
you don't got nothing.
My own or my own opinion, because that's how I was talking.
You have we have our own opinion, but I'm just saying sometimes in a situation you don't say too much.
Why?
Because you have your man thinking.
She got her own opinion. She
Y'all
can
married?
feel how she want to feel, right? She can feel how she
You
want to
married?
feel, right?
Y'all married?
What? What
Are
type
y'all
of
married?
things you asking me right now? Like,
I'm asking.
does it matter if we married or not? We in a relationship, right? So at the end
Yes,
of the
sir.
day, at the end of the day, she has an opinion, right?
Right.
So should I suppress her opinion, or should I let her talk and view her opinion how she wants to?
You let her talk and view her opinion, and
All right.
also
and on top of that, right? On top of that, I strongly said I disagree with it, right?
Yeah, that had in your feelings.
No, I wasn't in my feelings. I'm just letting it be known that I disagree. So at the end of the day, whether it makes sense to me or not, she still got her own opinion, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So at the end of the day, this is what I'm trying to explain to you. This is where shit gets distorted, when people don't respect each other's opinion. And I respect her opinion. She can feel how she want to feel. I can feel how I want to feel. At the end of the day, we respect each other's opinions, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So that's what it is. You married?
No, I'm not. I don't want to get married.
You don't want to?
I don't want to get married.
Oh,
no, I don't.
You got a shorty though?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. How she feel about it?
She can't speak. She can't say anything. She has to keep it to herself.
Why is that?
Speak her truth or have an opinion about anything. Because me voicing my opinion is you took that as disrespect.
In America, the women have a power, right? So it's like whatever she say, the man got to do.
Nah, I don't got to do shit nobody say, bro.
Listen.
That's the difference. That's the difference. If you put yourself in a situation where you have to submit and you have to,
sometimes you have to though. In America, you have
to, bro. You have to.
All right.
I mean, I'm only guessing that you referring to like child support and shit like that, right? That's what you talking about.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Who put you in that situation where you gotta pay child support? Who fucked that girl and none of her had a baby? You, right?
Yeah.
All right then. So you put yourself in that situation, brother. So at the end of the day, you gotta understand what you're talking about. You understand?
Right.
At the end of the day, she can say whatever she want to say on this panel, bro. I don't gotta agree with everything she gotta say, and she don't gotta agree with everything I gotta say. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And we can agree to disagree. That's where a lot of relationships get misconstrued at, because people feel like you gotta go with me and I gotta go with you at all times. That's not where it goes. You feel me? She said what she said. Had all the single women, all the Beyonce Beehive.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
She had it popping just now. But at the end of the day, that don't change who I am as a man, because I know who I am a man first. I know who I am as a man first. You dig?
Right. Yep.
So me bringing down her opinion ain't gonna change me as a man. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right,
Just make you look crazy.
Exactly. It don't make me look crazy at all. You know what I'm saying? This is why we created this panel, so that everybody can get their views and opinions out.
I like this panel. It's good. Yeah. It's a nice panel.
You feel me?
Huh? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, bro. Stay safe.
All right.
Bro.
You already know. Good looking, Major. Be safe.
Yeah. Now, I really only added him because he said some wild shit in the comment. He was like, "Oh, she disrespect you. She don't respect you." I just want to know how she don't respect me. You feel me? But I mean, at the end of the day, everybody got their own opinion. It is. We off this after. Let's wrap it up, man. Okay.
This nigga said, what she got? What she do? What she think? That was wild disrespectful.
He made it sound like he knew you.
He was very disrespectful.
Always remember happy wife, happy life. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, okay.
Hi.
Remember,
Hi.
Hi, Kirby. Hi, Major. I just tuned into the live. I got in late, but that dude was like, he's just out of whack. But my thing is, based on what you guys are saying, like I'm married, I'm young, but I'm married, I got kids and stuff, and my husband and I, we don't always see eye to eye. And as you say, we agree to disagree. But my thing is, like, most of these young men, they think that you have to be submissive to them. Like you have to share their opinion. Like, I got a mind of my own. I got my own shit that I want to do. I don't have to like follow your lead. I mean, we can go parallel. We going in the same direction, but I don't have to do what you're doing, and you don't have to do what I'm doing. And you don't always have to agree with what I agree with. But I'm just saying, like, that's why society is what it is, because we feel like we have to succumb to what society says we must be. Opinion. Just joining the panel, and I listen to your live all the time, your music and stuff. Big up yourself.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and God bless you and your union. You understand?
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Who run the ship? You?
We both do.
Oh, okay. Thank
We
you.
both do. I tell him that he run around the house and I run it, but we both do.
You know, run the house and run around the house.
Yes. But at the end of the day, we both do. And she said, her father used to make the decision and her mom, contribute to it. I mean, at the end of the day, I'd be like, what do you think? And he's like, well, it's whatever, and I'm like, no, I need your opinion. And then he'll be like, I got to think about it. But we both, we run it together. Yeah. Okay. Like, it's not everything I'm going to say, like, he's going to just be agreed with it. He has to think about certain things, because that's how he is. He thinks about a lot of stuff. You'll be like, oh, the bottle is transparent. He'll be like, I got to think about it. He think about a lot of stuff that consists of the transparency.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate you for calling in. Thank you for calling in. I was rocking so much. All right, so what did we learn tonight?
That guy was an asshole.
I've learned tonight that you got to be happy. She got to be happy. And you think you run shit. When you don't. You believe that? You believe that?
I was repeating the comment.
I actually do believe that.
You're going to go a long way, my man.
Who?
You say you believe that.
I asked you, do you believe that?
No, I thought you said I believe that.
No, I said, do you believe that?
I asked you.
You asked me. Happy life, happy wife, happy life.
I don't know who made that up. Probably was a single chick.
Definitely was. Or a nigga that was in court.
Nigga lost everything.
Nigga said, do we negotiate?
Hey, it ain't that.
Do we negotiate?
Let's get back together. It's cheaper to keep.
All right, y'all ready to lock it up or y'all want to take some more calls? What y'all want to do?
We can lock it.
I think we've exasperated this evening.
Okay.
I think
We going by coach?
try this again.
Coach it over?
Try this again next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. What is the topic for next Tuesday?
I don't know. We're gonna have a good one. A good topic.
When men think their women are slaves with no voice.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see you next
I'm
week.
like, no, I am done. I'm done. Who was he talking to? He was wild disrespectful. Good thing I'm a lady.
He from New York, yeah.
He was very
He from
very
New
out
York.
of time.
How you got internet and no AC? Yo.
I mean,
so hot, he couldn't
the
put a
triple
shirt
play
on.
don't come with an AC. You know what I mean?
Hey, got that box fan. Let's not underestimate the power of the box fan.
I don't let people talk to me crazy, y'all.
Well, follow that nigga and get at him. Get him all his pictures.
You talk to me crazy one time, you won't never talk to me again.
You block B. You out of here, son.
Okay, so closing statements, anyone? Well, everyone?
Tasha's here.
Tash.
Yeah, I don't have any closing statements this week. Y'all can skip me on this one. I'm just gonna say, learned a lot this week. You know, and
I hope you find whoever equally yoked with you. So therefore you can find your happiness and your happy future of puppeting your mate.
Facts.
It was all a conclusion. I don't know.
Big facts.
I took some from everything today.
Miss B?
Love yourself. Everything is teamwork makes the dream work. Follow me on social.
Don't come with that teamwork, the dreamwork bullshit now.
Cocaine makes shit work.
You was in high agreement. Yes, right. You got to make them think that they right. Yeah,
I did agree with that,
yes.
but
So why the fuck you talking about teamwork?
I know, but I also know when you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them and know when to stop. So I know that I'm gonna go ahead and debt that because
We look like two
it was
imps
getting
on here tonight.
the gentleman. It was clearly getting the gentleman riled up.
Who?
So
Who was
in
Who
social
the-
media
who the
world.
guy?
So just follow me on social media, MSB Comedy, and
You got
the teamwork makes the dream work. Say what now?
You want to know what's your actual name on IG?
My actual name, MSB as in boy comedy, MSB Comedy. I'm gonna put a little Haitian flag right now. Boop, 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 Haitian flag. And then MSB Comedy. My name is Bernadette. If you need to search it by that, the legal Bernadette.
Kirby?
Women, submit to your husbands. Husbands, love your women